my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here, now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here, now, cutting through the rolling fog. Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer.
All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back for day number 2 of the drafts, and we have 3 whole leagues to draft tonight. We got Challenger, we got Rival, we got Titan. A lot of action coming your guys' way tonight. We appreciate everyone hopping back in. Here was a great stream yesterday. We had 3 drafts, so we're getting up there with the provisional, novice, prospect. Things went smoothly for the most part. We almost peaked in viewers yesterday. Had a good average. So shout out to everyone watching, and hopefully we can bring the hype again here today. So we will see what happens. But I'm joined by some lovely young fellows. Let's go around the horn a little bit here. Let's start with the man, the myth, the commentating lead, Merely Mental, back in the booth. Merely, how you doing on this fine evening?
I'm doing fantastic. Got the day off. Get to draft some people. Well, I don't get to draft people, but I get to vicariously watch other people get drafted, and that's a lot of fun. So I'm excited to be here.
There you go. That's one way to do it. You're an AGM as well, so it's basically like you help me draft some of these people. Basically. So if you do that, we also got Bagels back in the booth. The cooking Bagels. Bagels. We're gonna have your favorite league tonight. Well, it actually probably is your favorite league, Titan League. You get to cast some Titans out here. I'm sure you're excited for that, and also Challenger Arrival, which, gonna be spicy. Challenger going up to 1600 this season.
Yeah, I like all 3 of these leagues actually. Ever since they all came around, way back when we were joking around in power rankings, Challenger Power Hour. I do think Challenger League is actually going to be. I think Challenger League might be one of my favorite leagues to watch this season.
Yeah, honestly, it could be. It could be very interesting. I'm still not sure. Well, I have some ideas of who I'm drafting, but looking at it, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think Challenge will be interesting for sure this season. But yeah, we'll have to see. And last but not least, we got Gallium / Charles back in the booth here, returning with us here. He saw something's going down for your team yesterday. Charles, you got some crack teammates, and excited to see what's gonna happen tonight.
Oh yeah, especially I was took a little peek into the draft, and I mean, you guys seem to know what you're doing at the draft. I'm just happy to join. Just be part of this awesome experience. Hopefully, we peak in viewers. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah.
True. Good to have you. I guess first draft stream as well. So welcome to the booth, and welcome back for another season here. And yeah, so we gotta get things underway. I guess we'll start things off. Why delay at all? And to start things off, guys, we actually have a lot of spice to start off before we even get to the first pick here. Talking about the first pick, we have a trade that has happened. So the Samurai were originally going to be number 1 here. Got traded to Ascension. And then right before the draft, I ended up trading away this number 1 overall pick for 2 firsts next season. So now the Raptors are number 1 overall here. Bagels is shaking his head. Bagels, why are you shaking your head?
I was talking about he does his wheeling and dealing at the last second. That's what happens. He's conniving. He's playing the game.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I got 2 firsts out of it, so I think I got a good deal out here. I think I got a good deal. 2 firsts next season for this.
Of course you did. You're scamming people.
What? Hey, I'll have you know that Smeg said.
Well, now I'm helping you.
I won't name
the new GM.
No. I'll tell you what happened here. Smeg said to me. He said, this could have been worse. I've had to deal with some worse GMs, so I appreciate you being so reasonable. And I said, you're welcome. So take that.
Wow, you scam people so hard they don't even realize they're being scammed.
It's an impressive feat. That's what happens when you GM for 8 seasons.
He's their ally.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I am their ally. You don't know me like that.
They're never.
No, you don't think so? Well, regardless, the first pick of the draft is in here for the Raptors. They have gone and they have selected Boxule, who I do not know at all. I don't really recognize. I don't know if they were at the tryouts. I was not there for tryouts or for the combines this season, excuse me. But Smeg's got to have a plan to trade up for the number 1 and get this guy. So this guy maybe a sleeper out here. He's a content creator apparently. He got 1.3k subs. So shout out to Boxule there. So there you go. And he's getting drafted first overall. So
the Raptors aren't coming back with any of their players from last season where they won the championship, so they're gonna have to do the back-to-back. They're gonna have a bit of a rough go, but it could start off with the man in question there.
There you go. He's also following the Twitch channel, so shout out Boxule.
Oh my gosh,
let's go.
We're following the channel as well. So hey, you get drafted first overall in Challenger League, and boom, that's what happens. So There
See,
you
good
have
things
it.
happen when you follow.
Exactly. That's so you gotta do. Follow the channel. Follow the channel. We hit 1800. Hit 1800 yesterday. We're on the move to 1900. So we'll see if we get up. We can see if we can get up there. But yeah, Boxeal's going there, and Snowstorm also on the clock here. They're gonna go ahead and they're selecting Yukio Takeda for their pick, who moved up from last season. I think we all knew about the whole situation where Speed, former War Room GM, traded his life away to get Yukio onto his roster, and last season, and now he's gone. Now he's moving up to Snowstorm for this one. So the Dan plan is underway here.
So yeah, I do know quite a bit about this roster here. I'm sure y'all can see. Well, we got Magic and Yukio on the same team. None other than the Magic Pepperoni, capped out at the very top of Challenger League, 1604, one more MMR. And I think he wanted to make it to Rival, ended up settling in Challenger. A little bit unfortunate that he settled at such a high MMR, because it'll be a little bit difficult to build a team. But I already know who his third's gonna be if he falls. And I think they do have some chemistry. I think they could do a little bit of damage here.
Think so. I will merely did go non-playing to avoid Magic Pepperoni. So.
I think Magic's lucky he's in Challenger and not Rival. Let's be
Oh
honest.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
I think so.
He's
I don't think
sandbagging
Magic can
confirmed.
handle Rival.
Hey,
Oh
sometimes
my
it's,
gosh.
sometimes it's fun to be the top of the league. Obviously, I don't encourage sandbagging, but when you fall at the top of the league, sometimes you're like, okay, maybe I can do something here.
Yeah.
The
Win's a win, man. You know.
the way you said that, Charles, I thought Magic had just joined the VC. That sounded uncannily familiar.
That's my bad.
I was like, what in the?
Magic reincarnated. He's living on to Charles here.
Yeah, I just feel just magic pepperoni just
No,
all inside of me.
don't say that. You don't
No.
want that. You don't want to feel like that. That's the feeling of choking in playoffs. You don't want that.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa.
All right, well, we were going a little too hard.
Yeah.
Make a little
Hey,
too hard on
Charles,
Magic Pepperoni here.
Charles is looking to go back to back. You don't want that negative energy. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm just looking to play, bro.
He's just trying to get out there.
Yeah,
That's a humble man right there.
yeah.
Respect. Well, we got picks coming in fast and furious while we're roasting
Oh, wow.
Magic Pepperoni, who didn't show. We got a bunch of picks coming through. We got the Papayas going ahead and selecting Blitz, who I think I remember seeing around here. And also we got Egg Dip Kirby going to Motion, and then Snowstorm is coming back and selecting I'm Jex. So they went Yukio, Magic, and Jex here. I don't know if that's who you thought was gonna fall there, but 3 picks right there, and the Hellcats are coming back here, and they're bringing back Micro as well. So make that 4 picks coming our way in very quick succession.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is the person that I expected them to pick with the 2 top Snowstorm. I thought. Oh, I'm used to his other name, but I don't want to dox him. So, but yeah, they've already filled out their roster. They've been planning this for a while, so we'll see if it works out. Not much else to be said there.
Well, yeah, we have Blitz going to the Papayas there, Charles, and the Papayas, they have got LK, who formerly known as Demon there, and they also have Midnight. So LK, Blitz, and Midnight on the Papayas. And oh, wait a minute here, folks. Apologies for a second.
Did you mess up the draft order again?
No, I got to change the cap room remaining on this sheet. Forgive me. I was looking and I saw they had 1930 cap room remaining, and I was like, something's not. The Papayas should not have that much cap room remaining. So give me a second, and hopefully I didn't screw over any teams by that. Hopefully
It
they were looking.
says 1530 for me.
Does it?
Yeah,
Remaining, yeah.
Are you looking at the Challenger draft tab or on the team sheet?
the
Just on
player
the team
sheet.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that is now where I'm looking. So give me a
Whoops.
second while Orbit selects their pick. I have to
Oh my
to
gosh.
fix this. But Charles, what do you think of the Papayas? Regardless.
So I obviously don't know that much about Challenger, but from what I watched last season, LK, aka Demon, is an absolute beast. And with him and Midnight being on the same roster, I actually spoke with Midnight this past week. I met him for the first time, and dude is an absolute beast. He's a gem in the Challenger League. I mean, he balled out in Prospect on the Melons, and now he's on the Papayas for a revenge tour after last season. So I'm excited to see what the Papayas have to bring on the table now that they selected Blitz. Who knows? They could, get that championship that Midnight was so close to getting last season.
Yeah, Midnight, actually, one of my former players from when I was a GM a few seasons ago, or I think he was my player all 4 seasons I was GM, and he's definitely a really solid player, and this is his first time actually stepping up to Challenger, so excited to see what he can do. And then another former player of mine, C-Dubs, going back to that egg dip pickup. Interesting to see how motion works out with C-Dubs and egg dip and who their third ends up being, as Orbit taken quite a bit. Oh, there we go.
No,
Orbit
they selected pretty quickly. I was making sure the sheets were updated
okay,
on the Challenger draft sheet there, just so that way we could, on the public player sheet, that way the GMs weren't looking on there and like, hey, yeah, I got 1930 cap remaining. Thanks, Rockerman. Thanks for that. I was like, well, that's probably not right. So they're
player.
let's go. We're going all the way. We're taking all the top people right now. So
time for me to make my Challenger debut.
Oh my gosh!
Exactly. He's been waiting for it. He's been trying. He's been talking about this. There's something suspicious going on here. I mean, we did have Bagel.gif and Mealy. He was really pushing for Bagel.gif, and now he's saying he wants to play in Challenger League.
Pick up my man, Dr. Dre, aka Bagel.gif. That man needs a home. Vicious Oreo got signed. I'm just my one hope is that all the food names get signed, and we already got Egg Dip, so there's one.
Lasagna already got signed earlier.
Lasagna, man.
I'm talking about. Like, just sign the
Egg
food
dip, yeah. That's a little weird.
There's a cookie here, 1555.
Isn't there milk as well? That's funny.
Yeah,
there's milk on Venom, who's up to draft now after the next 2 picks are in Sport going to Orbit. We talked about, and then Davi going to Dissolved. Who that work has some new logos for this season, and it's going to put a Venom on the clock now as well. They got the milk. They got the milk there. Will they get the cookie?
Dude,
I don't know.
How many times
that
was
That's actually a good question.
He's been on Orbit like 5 different times.
It'd be like that. Oh, also, I'm lying. It's so sweet. It's supposed to be Drake's, not Venom. I was too busy. I was too excited to get Venom on here.
If we can back up for a split second, I love you, Micro. You're an amazing human, but why B?
He's channeling his inner Brandon.
I don't know.
E-Dot.
Fair enough.
Hey,
but Micro is such a good name.
So I know. That's how it goes. We can't tell him. We can't tell him to not change the name. We could.
Dude.
Time to you can't tell. I'm not telling him not to change his name. I'm just like, if there's a good reason behind it, then sure. But Micro is a good name. I'm just saying I liked the name Micro. That's all.
We want Micro. We want Micro.
He's not
going to bring it back. He's not going to do it. But you can only change your name once a season. So, but I mean, I think we can make an exception for that potentially.
No.
No. Okay. Well.
I mean, you're all right. Stay consistent.
All right. Well, fair. Yes. Where is? All right. Here's the next pick. The Drakes are in. Who should have been picking first? They are going to go ahead. They're going to go ahead and select the Mangoes out here. So a long time Nemesis player, Mangoes.
Is Challenger just full of like players with food names? Is like legitimate question.
I think he's more, honestly.
No. Bagels is just a heat-seeking missile for the food names. Any food names anywhere, he's gonna find them. It doesn't matter where they are.
For anybody that cares, nobody probably does. I didn't get Chipotle after the stream yesterday, but got Chipotle today.
Let's go.
Chipotle sponsor us.
He walked out of his house.
We're so proud.
They said it couldn't be done.
I feel so alive.
We are so proud. Also, Venom is coming with their pick. They've selected Ray, who is not popping up. Oh, okay. Didn't expect that reaction. But Ray's moved down to Challenger. He could be a beast in Challenger. He actually was up there for most improved last season.
That's actually a decent roster for Challenger. This could be Ray's time to not lose in the semis.
Oh my gosh! All right, why are you beefing with everybody?
I'm not beefing. I'm just stating facts.
That's his strategy. His
I'm
strategy is
just
to beef with
spitting
everybody.
facts. That's all
Oh
I'm
my
doing.
gosh.
I mean,
Oh.
last season even Ray Ray didn't look that bad, rival. They had a really hot start, if I remember correctly, on the Kings. Was it?
I mean, I think the Kings had a decent
Yeah,
chance
Kings.
until they forfeited in playoffs. So.
That's
Yeah, I
true.
think there was some issue with someone who couldn't make it. But with that in the past, I mean, Ray Ray and Challenger, I feel like that's actually a solid move. Like I mean, we love Ray Ray. He's great for the stream. He's great for content. He can be a bit chaotic, but he's actually, you know, when he puts his mind to it, he can play some good Rocket League. And with a full roster there of Milk and Grab, I mean, they could do some heavy hitting.
So we think that makes Lorafo the sub there. He's moving up from, I believe, from prospect on that one. So Milk, Ray Ray, Grab, and Lorafo as the sub, more than likely.
Oh yeah, I
That's
don't know
that's a good
Larifo, but yeah.
He was
That's-
pretty cracked in prospect, Lower. I
Mm.
remember. He's been around for a little bit, here and there, a couple seasons. So
I think that
Good-
might,
good for
granted,
him.
that's the only roster that's completely filled out at the, or actually Hellcats is filled out
Yeah.
as well. Honestly, I may meme around Ray Ray every single time, but that's a number one contending team right there. I think I'm not gonna lie.
okay. Respect. Also, the race have come in. The picks they're still going. We're moving quickly today, which is good. They've gone and selected Milky He Eyes. I don't know how to pronounce the last
Another
part.
food name off the board.
Another
And now
milk.
that's two milks in the same league again.
Yeah, that's
My
we got
gosh.
a lot of milks. One of them banned. Rest in peace. But the other one, great guy. Or so I hear. But Milky he has go into the race, and then the Dolphin Puck, the
There he is.
recruitment raffle winner there from yesterday. Recruited
Let's
a lot of people in
go.
the league. He's going to Flame on this one. So heading to smooth story. Charles, excited to have him in your org there, Dolphin Puck.
Yeah, baby. Hey, great job, Smooth. I'm proud of you. I
That's
love my
a-
GM.
That's an empty roster right there, so they're gonna have to use
Yeah.
all 4 rounds. Or I don't
I think
know how
Yeah.
that goes out if there's multiple in a row or such.
Yeah, they do have
I
their
don't
picks.
know.
They got 28, 29, and 44. If you look on
Oh.
the Challenger draft sheet.
That's not bad.
So not too shabby. Not too shabby there for them, but still got 3 picks remaining. Dolphin Puck going off the board, so congratulations. And
think I said-
pick him up.
I think I said it during the draft lottery, but I just love that name. I was looking at all the names in Challenger, and I was like,
Yeah.
if
I
I,
mean,
had
how
to
can you
draft
not
someone
like that
based
name?
on name alone, I think I would go with Dolphin Puck.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Respect.
saying yesterday too.
What a
It's like
beast.
you either go off you go with a food name or you go off just how good you think the name is.
I mean, if someone names themselves a goated name, then you know that they're also good at Rocket League. Like, it tracks, you know? It's a
Yeah.
valid strategy. I'm not just bad drafting. Trust.
Yeah, trust.
It'd be like that. Well, the Drakes are coming in,
Oh.
and this is the guy that's been around Nemesis for a long time. Good to see him
Oh,
back
yeah.
here. They're going ahead and selected Blazin to the Drakes out here on this one. So he's moved around in a couple teams, but he's found a home there on the Drakes with Mangoes and Daydreams at the moment, and 1573 to work with.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he on the Drakes at the end of the season last season?
Samurai, I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
The Samurai.
He was on the Drakes at
Rest in
some
peace.
point.
Rest in peace,
Um,
Samurai. He may have been
yeah.
on the Drakes at one point. He's moved around.
Samurai-
A bit. I'm sure he'll tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, I want to see Blazin get a good run. I think with that roster, potentially, I'm not sure they're gonna pick up for their 4th, but they still have some decent space. They could get another decently high 1500. But Blazin, I feel like, always puts his all into the games, and he's come up a little bit short in the results, but he's always been missing like kind of a fundamentally core. I don't think he's had bad teammates necessarily, but like he hasn't had that core roster that's been solid. I don't think. I'd like to see my man Blazin get some W's.
I agree.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
That being said, Spork is still on the draftee list, I see.
Bork?
Yeah.
We need an
That's-
update.
He is
there
on, he is on orbit. And
That's
he's
a
also on the
baller
draftee
name.
list.
You like Spork?
Yeah. Hey, Smooth, draft that guy.
No, he's already
in
drafted.
Dolphin
That's the
Puck?
problem.
Drafted, yeah.
No!
Ooh.
Yeah,
I've
that is a good name.
got some thinking to do. I've got an idea of who I want. I wasn't sure who's gonna fall to me, and now Ascension's on the clock, and I gotta pick my teammates here.
Indeed.
So
God
pressure.
help them, whoever they are.
Okay.
Continue, guys.
All right.
You know, now that I'm non-playing, I can just say all the smack talk I want.
Is that how that works?
I think so, anyway.
I mean, who's gonna stop him?
Yeah. I mean, what are you
Let
gonna
me
do?
see. Let me see. Put in notes. If Bagels keeps talking smack, put him on stream way more often. Okay, there we go.
If
Yes,
I'm able to play, I mean, if I am able to play, I'm gonna be a sub anyway. So could
bro.
be my
Sub life. Join the
Yeah.
party, man. Sub life is the best life.
Wait, whoa!
Hey,
You can't be sub.
I think I'm
H-
gonna do this first. I'm
Well-
gonna go ahead and I'm selecting ASCII with my pick here on this one.
Okay.
So moving up right in the middle around there, 1560 on the board. I did put out a recruitment message. I got a lot of people DM me and gave me a lot of options about who potentially wanted the team, and ASCII coming over from RLSC, and yeah, we'll see what he can do as my teammate. So
Oh,
we're about to learn. He seemed like a cool guy. So he's also the owner of RLSC. So some league owners teaming up here a little bit.
Wow.
So all right, he's come to Ascension. So
jeez.
You're telling me you had the chance to pick a relic or relic cookie and you didn't?
my bad. Unlike you, I can restrain myself when it comes to food. So
That's your downfall right there.
Yeah, that's not a good
That's not
trait.
a fat,
That's
that's
a
not a fat joke unless you want it
bad
to
trait.
be.
What ended up happening with that tournament? Who ended up winning? The second
It's
time
still
around?
going. It's still going.
It's still going.
It's still going. ASCII
Are
gotta
we
wrap that
in it?
thing up. No, we lost.
Oh well.
Zinvez did not show up, and then
Oh, we won
they
the first
lost.
one at least.
We did win the first one, so shout out Nemesis.
Charles just disappeared.
Oh,
He's disappeared.
I'm back now.
Oh no, he's gone.
Wait,
He's
am I
returned.
back? Oh, sorry, guys.
He's frozen. He's struggling. We can hear him, but his face cam. We just get to
it's
look
good
at him.
now.
Oh, there he is. He is
Hi,
returned. He's back.
I know you missed me. It's all right.
Reborn in the ashes.
Yeah, I just heard too many food names. I got hungry.
That's understandable. Sometimes when you gotta eat, you gotta eat. So that's how it goes. But next pick is in Assassins going on the board here. They're selecting Insk, which is an interesting name. I say interesting name because I was looking at his about me, and I cannot read that on stream, I don't think. But it was. It was.
Wait, I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on, guys.
I've started some things.
That's
Not
pretty
afraid to
cool,
get
actually.
canceled. I'm just kidding.
Not
I won't do.
Oh no.
Yo,
I could, but he's going to the Assassins, so congrats.
Jake
to
on
Insk.
the Assassins roster though.
Good for
That's
him.
true.
I mean, I know he doesn't really play the game that much anymore, but Jake, way back when he was on Mafiosos, this isn't talking smack, but just when he unfortunately got reverse swept in the semis, he could have made it to grand finals. He could have made it to grand finals, but it didn't happen.
Unfortunately.
And I'm hoping, Assassins, since their inception, haven't had the greatest of seasons, so we'll have to see if Insk and Jake can come up with a good effort there.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Insk, but yeah, Jake was good on the Mafiosos. I think if he started actually grinding again, I don't know if he will, but if he did actually start grinding it, I think he could easily be one of the top players in Challenger this season.
Oh, Dolphin Puck is vouching for Insk, so it's immediately
There we go.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
another.
that's my boy right there, Dolphin
lock
Puck.
playoff roster.
That's my boy.
Respect. Well, last pick of the draft is in the Raptors. Well, last pick of the first round, not the draft. That would be impressive.
about to
Finish it that quickly. But the Raptors are going ahead and selecting Bladat out there, or Blah, as their pick, which gives them
Ooh.
Boxiel, Smeg, and Blah with 15-17 remaining. So. But well, there we go. Round number one is
Let's
over.
go.
What do you guys think of round one? Any surprises out here? There's a lot of, as compared to some of these other leagues, there's a lot of names that are kind of newer in Challenger League, at least on first glance.
Yeah, I love to see that, honestly. There's some people that I was kind of expecting to go first round who didn't get picked, but I mean, with the combines and a lot of tryouts going on, there's always some hidden talent, and it looks like some of the teams have found that, or they've They've brought in their own talent. But yeah, these all seem like pretty solid first round picks.
Samurai, Griffins, and Bishops all look like they didn't have a first round pick, so
Whoops.
Samurai, no, nobody on the roster.
Weren't the Samurai last in
Ooh.
the league too?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody must have
Yikes.
traded it away.
I got their
Yikes,
number.
Samurai.
I got their number 1 overall. Shout out to Jaegers, and then I
We
pocketed
finagled
for
them again.
I pocketed them for more picks. That was Jaegers that time, so it wasn't even me. Because sent him on his way. Said go scam these guys, and he said yes sir. And then
Oh,
I
my
got the number 1 overall pick. So
Learn
and I
from the
traded away.
test.
Yeah.
Bubbly, all I'm saying is, Bubbly, you better have a plan.
That's probably good. It's probably good to have a plan, I'd say.
Real quick, I don't know if I'm the only one who missed this, but Bagels DC, Stack says you look like a great value Wanda, Mike. You just gonna take that?
What?
Wait, who said that?
Stack DRL.
I feel like
Well,
Bagel
that's-
has just been like attacking people for like
That's true.
falling short all night,
He
and
said
people are
great
just
value,
finally.
It's the last straw.
Knockoff brand.
Walmart.
I mean, he said great value. I don't know if he meant like budget.
yeah,
but,
that's
you know.
budget. That's
Yeah,
budget.
that's-
Great
that's
value would be
what,
like a
like-
budget.
Like great value,
like a
like great
Walmart.
value
Oh.
cereal. It's like a zany
Shit,
Mooch or
dude,
something.
I'm
Do you guys
bargain
really
brand.
need to be explaining this joke? I thought it was pretty straightforward, guys. Come on.
Dude, I'm
Well, I don't know. It whooshed over his head.
no, who
Bagels not
phrases
get
it like that? They
R
could have said
slash
like
whoosh.
budget.
or
He
slash
could have said
whoosh.
budget. He could have said like knockoff. He could have said he
Bagels,
could
I
have
think you should
called
just
me
beat him
shit.
up.
Mm.
He could have just called me bad. But hey, if I'm a great value Wonder Mike, I honestly take that as a compliment.
Aw.
All right, he's
Wow.
turning into a positive. Well,
They wanted
checkmate,
to
I
make-
guess. It
You
was a
want
good
it, but
try.
instead you make
If he's
peace.
saying I look bad, then I don't agree with it. But if he's saying in terms of Rocket League skill, I'll take it.
No.
But I don't know.
Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
It's a bold strategy.
I mean, let's shift the conversation from not me.
You want to talk about Scraps? You got selected to orbit.
Oh,
Yeah, also another former player of mine.
Stella's Papayas in the name.
Still's Papaya is his name, but now he's orbit. So
Yikes.
he's evolved into orbit with DJD and Spork. That's an interesting combination. I know we mentioned Spork being on the roster there for a while. DJD 1593 in Challenger. He's up near the top, so could be a guy to watch out for. His team with Spork and Scraps and 1517 remaining.
Oh my gosh. I love DJD so much. If there was one man in Nemesis that I want to sign my Steam profile, it's DJD. It's just because he's an absolute menace when it comes to demoing, and I just love him so much for it. You know, just probably my idol third man, the person I look up to. So DJD, if I come into your DMs asking for a Steam sign, please, I'm desperate.
Oh, what? I didn't realize DJD was a celebrity.
Wow.
Pouring his heart and soul on the line. Right there.
Respect. I respect that. DJD is a great guy. I did play with him. We played when that knockout game mode was out there. We grinded out a little bit. He's a really chill guy, and maybe this is the roster for him. I mean, at least I hope he thinks so. Well, if he dropped these people, he better think so. And
Yikes.
He will be my competitor though this season. We'll be rivals in the same division as well in orbit. So we'll be doing battle a couple times throughout the season. So
I think I have a new favorite name. I think
Oh,
this
boy.
one just might have usurped.
Oh no.
Mm.
It might have usurped Dolphin Puck, and it's
Okay.
vegan for the chicks. All I'm gonna say is that doesn't work.
Does it? You
I
tried it?
write this down.
Personal
Write
I
this
experience?
down.
I don't speak from experience, but
That sounds
I
like
do
experience.
know.
I think it my friend told me it could work.
Let's take a deeper look into this.
Let's take a deep dive on it.
True.
Oh my gosh,
As,
this draft is cursed.
Assassins pick up
Well,
Jonah HM or Jonahan.
Jonah MN. Jonah, Minnesota. There
Cold
he
like
is.
Minnesota.
Oh, wait. Okay, if Aints is I mean, he got vouched for. If he can live up to his potential, Jonah is actually a very solid player as well. I remember him on Snowstorm previously. And Jake as well. I mean, if these guys are grinding, I think that could be a solid lock for a top spot.
Interesting. It'll be
I
interesting.
just want the Assassins to go positive.
Yeah, they don't have Sands this time, so maybe they'll be
You're saying
okay.
Sands was the problem.
I'm not saying he wasn't the problem. So Let's put it out there.
I
But we
think
love
Sands
Simmons.
has a good chance in prospect.
Yeah,
I think so.
that's fair. That's fair. He says, "What is this?"
Guys,
He says, "What
guys,
is
we
this?"
can't roast. We can't roast
I'm
Sands
getting-
too hard. We need him.
I'm-
We need him later.
we do need him. When
Oh,
making his
no.
casting debut in the Titan League.
I was complimenting him.
I was not complimenting him. He's roasted me
that
enough.
was obviously
I'm here for
apparent.
my revenge, where he can't talk back until later.
There's a lot of unsettled beef here.
There's a lot of unsettled beef.
Clearly.
Yeah. Also on the stream, we got to fix that. The Griffins are pick number 19, and Raptors are pick number 20 there. And then because Griffins on 21, so that'll be switching a second. But Ezreal is going to the Griffins, and the Raptors are on the clock for pick 20. So that will
They'll get their
that's
set.
what we're waiting on here. But Ezreal there going to the Griffins. So let's see what happens. Ezreal, some bonky on the roster. That's Owen, I think. Owenator, and then Jtron on the Griffins there. Jtron, defending champion from Prospect, moving up to Challenger this season. And they got 1538 to work with. So, and the Raptors are looking to round out their roster with probably their last sub pick here at 15, 17 and below.
Very interesting to pick a sub this early, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you only have one spot left on your roster. So
Yeah. Wow. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, huh?
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Well, the Raptors are coming in, and another well-known Nemesis player here is off the board. You expected it at some point. You just had to wonder where he was going to go. It is Regret. He is going to the Raptors this season. So moving from the Rays, staying in the same division, going to the Raptors. So I guess I'm, again, division rivals with Regret this season once more. He's moving over to the Raptors to round out their roster with their fourth and final pick.
Yeah, and he is the lowest MMR, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Regret starting. I mean, I don't know too much about Blah or Boxuel, but I know Smeg pretty solid last season. And I mean, Regret has been around for a while. He's super active. I know he's always grinding comp, at least as far as I know. Very solid all-around player.
And I mean, that Central Division, at least as far as Challenger is concerned, has probably been one of the most competitive divisions of all time. I think that division across all the leagues, at least Challenger, Rival, and Titan, have always been super competitive. So I expect more of the same between Ascension, Race, Raptors, and Orbit again, unless Spork decides to no longer be on the team for the 5th plus time again. But we'll have to wait and see if that decision gets made or not.
You gotta respect the commitment. You keep coming back to the same thing. It may be called insanity, expecting it to work this time, but hey, you never know. Maybe it will work this time, and then he'll be laughing at us. So that's how it goes sometimes.
If Spork wins a chip, then come up with something in chat, and I'll probably do it.
My goodness, jeez.
Get a cutout of one of
my-
my.
No holds barred. What did you eat for breakfast? Oh, right, Chipotle.
Let's calm down.
Bro, I
man.
feel bad for your toilet, man. If you eat Chipotle for breakfast, bro.
I don't know about that one.
That's a bold strategy. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. We will
Keto
ignore
is
that.
better, by the way.
Yeah, Chipotle is not a dinner or a lunch of champions. It's just sometimes it's just a necessity.
Oh my
It's
god.
a
So-
craving.
Oh my gosh.
It's a craving.
Well, Sedentario is off the board here. Another
there we
Nemesis
go.
player has been around for a while, going to the Griffins here. So Rogue and
That's
the boys there. They got Ezreal, Owen, Sedentario, and Jtron on that one.
That's a good pickup right there. I think that's one of those players that is really low. Or actually, hold up. I forget the Challenger is weird MMR now. Okay, yeah, he's like low MMR for Challenger. I think that's on the lower end of the spectrum. That's a really good pickup for the Griffins right there. Because, I was really expecting him to win the championship back on Frost, but the Spitfires kind of with the upset a few seasons ago.
Mhm.
But expecting some more good things out of Sanitaria.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Spitfires are unfortunately the most mid team in all of
Oh,
Nemesis.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
He's got him on board.
He's feeling the energy.
Yeah.
Chaotic energy, I think.
Yes, this
Well,
is what I do to
Most
people.
definitely.
I mean, I hate Frost, but I love Dan. So
Oh, well, hold on.
He's conflicted. He's conflicted.
how can you not love Dan? Let's be real.
I'd say it's pretty easy, but
Well,
I can't
I mean,
deny the man has success, and maybe I'm just
does.
envying that success. You know what I'm saying?
he does
I
dub.
mean, he does kick my butt in fantasy football a lot. So yeah, a little bit of love-hate relationship.
He's a winner.
Mm. He wins. Sometimes
like
that's all that
that.
matters. You just win. So
He needs to stop doing that, please.
win.
Well, we have 3 picks in now.
yeah, we got 3 of them now in a row here while we're discussing. We got Motion selecting Shawnee X Galaxy, who I believe was on Hellcats last season. We get Hyptonic, who may have been Hypernova, and then we get Yame / Seuss, who is moving down into Challenger League at the very top of the board. They're going away to Dissolve now. So 3 picks back to back to back. Anyone got some thoughts, merely?
Yeah, I got some thoughts. Did you just say Hyptonic?
Hypnotic.
I thought he said shoddy instead of Shawnee.
Shoddy,
Oh my
Shoddy,
God.
Shoddy X Galaxy. It's making their way to Motion.
Damn, that must be one good shoddy if they're taking the look of the whole galaxy.
Oh my gosh! I like how these names have gotten like progressively more tame as we've gone down.
Well, you'd be surprised. We still have vegan for the chicks out there, so
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
He's a
somebody
real diamond in the rough.
that's what I'm saying. We get G was a sandbagger who I believe was on the Drakes last season. Just straight up, not even gonna lie, just put in their name out there. No hiding.
I keep hearing other things that he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what I thought.
Are you good? Are you good, bro? Bagels is hearing things now.
His Chipotle is making him act up.
One too many metal concerts might have fried my ears. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay,
This is why I
well,
wear earplugs now.
going back to the picks. Sorry, we could talk about your ear damage another time, Bagels. So we do have a little bit of intel here. Fort says Hypnotic is new to the league, but that makes me think that Fort has some sort of previous friendship or maybe has met him recently. But it looks like he does know what he's doing with that pick. Bishops, I feel like the Bishops have always been kind of like they've never been a bad team in the league, but they've never really been the best team. With Fort on there and Hypnotic though, both low MMR. I mean, they have plenty of space to pick up 2 reasonably high players. I think they could get one more, like maybe even one more 1590, another low one, or 2 mid range. I think these next picks are going to be important for them. But if they have some chemistry, they got a good base going. Oh, they just finished second. Sorry, Bubbly. I completely forgot about that.
They did. Well, they did finish second.
Like I said, they've never been the best. They got second.
They never been the best. So
They
well,
got
he's
second,
wrong.
but they did get clapped.
This is not a family friendly stream. Everybody's getting shots fired everywhere.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go out and say it. If Flames internet didn't happen, I don't think they were making it past quarterfinals. Gonna be perfectly honest.
I second this. I'm not biased, I promise.
I don't know anything, so I can't talk smack this time.
Well, you don't have to know anything to talk smack, Bagels. That's the best part of talking smack. It when it comes from baseless places, it's best.
That's facts right there. But we didn't actually talk about Souse at all or Seuss going down. I know Rockerman mentioned it briefly from Rival to Challenger, but Dissolved, that's their 3rd guy on the roster now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So they got Davi, Beemar, and
Yame.
Oh. So again, I feel like that Pacific division between the Drakes, Motion, Dissolved, and Samurai, that's always been one of the weaker divisions in Challenger. So I feel like if one of those teams can find some good chemistry off the bat, I mean, that could be pretty good for one of them. As Drake's also in that same division, picking up Snazzy, rounding out their roster. Snazzy coming up. This is his first season in Challenger, right?
It may be. I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. 1553 now.
he had one of the best double taps I've ever seen in like Novice or whenever that was a few seasons ago.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that was a clutch. I mean, I know there was like a 15-person watch party.
As I
and,
say,
like,
the clip.
Gen 1.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, everybody
Oh
was
my
just
gosh.
screaming.
Yeah,
So,
the
hey,
clip
if
kind
we
of
can do that again.
I was
No,
wild.
Snazzy has some mechanics. If he has some rank to back it up now, then Drake's
Oh, it's
could be.
been
Hey,
done.
I would say
What
we
happened?
well, it's been done in two different ways. The Samurai finally have their first pick of the draft with their empty
let's
roster here.
go.
Let's go. They've done it. They've done it. Congrats. They're selecting Shamsreal out here. And then the race are selecting a Relic Cookie. Bagels wanted him getting selected, and there he goes. So
I
he's been
want
done.
all the cookie names to succeed. Vicious, Oreo, and Relic Cookie better be putting up some MVP type caliber performances.
That's some high expectations right there. He said MVP now. Said a Relic Cookie. Go give me an MVP real quick. No pressure.
You
No
don't have to
pressure.
get it
No.
for me. I'm just saying, you know,
Oh, okay.
I expect a lot out of my cookies.
Well,
Solid.
okay.
Oh,
Understandable.
and, I think that is Snazzy in chat. I'm assuming he says he was Charlie before, but he left. So I don't think he played that much.
Okay, so
that makes sense.
relatively new to Chally there, but well, there we go. He's off the board, and so yeah, we said Shams to the Samurai, who have an empty roster and only 3 picks somehow in this draft. SMH, but Shams going to the Samurai there on the empty roster. Relic Cookie going to the race, and then Flame with back-to-back here. They select Sticker Face and Sodak for their picks.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a name. Sticker Face is getting off the
And
board there.
Dolphin Puck. Oh my gosh, Smooth, you really know how to pick your players.
Well, there we go. And that's going to put Ascension on my clock, so I'm going to study over my cap room real quick and make sure I don't screw this up.
He's very studious.
What do we got?
He's an
We're
academic.
still doing all right.
3110 to work with, so there is some room. Some room to be had out here. So forgive me while I do that. You guys can talk about whatever it is you talk about, I guess, you know? Talk about some rosters.
Oh, hey,
So some
Bagels, do
picks.
you mind if I share your good news with the stream?
I mean, yeah. I don't know how it's relevant, but yeah.
Well, I
Your
just want.
minds.
He said talk about whatever. I just want to hype you up, brother.
Oh, yeah, go
Oh,
for it.
So in case anyone wanted to know, or even if you didn't want to know, I don't care. Our boy Bagels here got his job interview, and he's moving up. He's got a new position, gonna be starting soon, I assume. But everyone congratulate my man Bagels for doing big things, getting
Can we
a
get a round of
job.
applause
Let's
in
go,
chat?
baby.
Get some claps, clap in chat.
Let's not make it seem like it's like my first job or anything. Like
It's his
I'm
first
very,
job.
I'm
Baby's
very
first
seasoned
job.
at
Baby's
this point.
first job.
I'm very
His first
seasoned.
job ever.
I did actually have to quit my last job because it was too stressful.
Interfering with
So
Nemesis.
I've been-
Interfere with Nemesis, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I got Nemesis is absolutely my priority at this point.
Respectable.
That's honestly the only reason I'm actually here is because I did quit my job. I worked like 20 days in a row, or not 20 days. I had like 1 day off in 20 days. So it was
proud of
pretty
you.
crazy. So on to new and better things. But anyways, I think we have some new picks in since then. So
You were better things. What is this supposed to mean? What do you mean by this? What do you mean?
that's up to y'all to find out.
Well,
All right.
yeah, the pick is in, and I've gone ahead and selected Q for my thing. Big Q out here coming to Ascension with me and ASCII. Some names that I recognize from last season. Q was on the Papayas, cracked player. In my opinion, probably the best player on Papayas last season, or at least one of the two, in my opinion, that were the best. And then, yeah, I said bring him on. He also messaged me and was interested, and now fellow Wisconsin guy. So respect. We love Wisconsin, so shout out Wisconsin.
I was on board with you until you brought up Wisconsin. Terrible pick.
No. I didn't realize his name was just a letter. I thought it was like Q, like you'd like Q for a game, but it's just the letter Q, which is kind of ridiculous.
His Discord name is Big Q. So
Big
Okay,
Q,
that's
baby.
kind of hype actually.
that's what I'm saying. We got Big Q on the pitch.
I'm
Me and
expecting
ASCII.
big things. but
This is-
not
this
too
is that-
big because he's on a team with Rocker Man, so I can't really.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Velotex
He
says,
ebbs
is that
and flows.
QAnon? This is that QAnon.
Yeah, chat is also trying to desperately to end the stream. We have a revolution on our hands.
Do we?
But
Oh,
too
they're-
bad for
they're-
you guys.
We
ain't
should just
stopping.
do it for them.
They're working for a
Just help
million
them
channel
out.
points. They're working to get that end stream.
They're getting close.
Oh.
Only 999,000 away.
Oh, wait, is the end stream? Oh, the end stream is not even available on there right now because of playoffs. So,
Oh,
well,
whoops.
good try, guys. No ending the stream today. Checkmate. Unintentional, but intentional. So,
Emperor Rocker Man has spoken.
It's on there for me right now.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I didn't get rid of
Oh
it.
yeah, it's on there for me too.
I just don't think you scrolled far enough.
Bagels, you should do it.
I have like
Alright.
I have like four different tabs here. I got like I got the stream, I got the cameras, I got the Discord, I got the draft sheet. So
How many monitors do you have, sir?
I only got two, but it's split half and half. So
Oh, okay.
I got like two tabs on this monitor, two tabs on this monitor. So I'm working out here. I guess I'm blind. I guess. Well, it doesn't actually show up. I could prove that, but no one would care. So
I have 170K I could toss in the pot.
Yeah, I have 100K to spare if we really need it.
well.
I have like 3.
Hey,
3 points?
any contribution helps.
I got you guys.
That's
Don't
what
worry
they
about
always tell me anytime you go somewhere. They try to nickel and dime you to like get the donations. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I gotta keep this. I gotta keep this going here because we got a couple picks. Let's end the second round here, and then we can keep going. What's going on here?
I'm
Levy
a great
Lev.
person. I'm a great person.
Levy Lev is going to the Bishops here, and then Jackson is going to Orbit. I don't think I've ever seen. Actually, maybe I have seen Jackson spelled like that. Jaxen, which is interesting. Going to Orbit there. So that rounds out the second round. Thoughts on the second round before we shift over to the third?
I think we have another social media star on our hands. This man has 90K plus on TikTok.
Oh, we need to get this man a social media team.
I don't know
27K
if
on
that's-
Instagram.
I don't know if that's views or followers.
Oh,
But
well,
it just says
damn!
90K
Get
plus.
this man in here. Where's our social media? Where's Sans? Sans, go get him. Go
I
get some
definitely-
music, go get him.
I definitely feel like I recognize the name Jackson, but I'm struggling to remember specific details about him. I'm not sure if he's brought on to just be a sub there, as they do have the roster round out. Now, at the end of the second round, pretty much everyone looks like they're settling into place, except for Samurai. But, that's all good.
I think
They got their pick. They got their pick in as we head to the third round. They're selecting
perfect.
Diformia off the board there to that roster. So Diformia and Shamsreel on the Samurai. And that's actually interesting. They selected Shamsreel they only have 3 picks in the draft here. And then, well, actually, wait, what is going on there? Something's being weird on my pick there. But they should only have 3 picks here. And they went 1506 there, and then Diformia at 1598. So
It's beautiful.
it's a selection there.
Okay. So, wait. Oh. Wait, you lied to me. With Diformia now, Samurai only has 2 players on their roster. They're still not filled out.
Yeah, they only got 2. I didn't say that they had more than 2. They just have 2.
But,
I was looking at their
but
picks.
they-
And it was being
yeah.
weird. It was being weird to me. Oh, that's why. Okay, the draft order is now being updated.
They're getting their footing, though.
That's why
Diformia's
it looks weird.
is not a bad pick. I think Diformia's MMR is a little bit high, I would say. That makes it a little bit unfortunate. But Shamsarel being 1506, they still have quite a bit of room to work there, depending what route they want to go. But most of the players that are left now, I don't really know too much. Who's going to pick up Chief or God? Just so you have someone who can talk smack to the entire league. That's what I'm wondering.
You'll do that anyways. He doesn't get picked up.
Every
think
good
good.
team needs their content creator.
It's true.
And every good team needs their smack talker. So, do with that information as you will.
That is true.
Is that Bang that's on the draftee list? Is that the Bang from a few seasons ago, like Silver Bang?
I could not tell you. That's what happens when you have a
Ask
common name.
him.
You never know.
You should ask him, Bagels.
Anyone could be Bang.
We
If it
all
is,
are
I mean,
bang.
If that's
I
if
am
that
Bang.
is- I'm not saying somebody should make a pick based on my advice, but if that is
No,
the same Bang,
It's a different guy.
okay, then
It's
never
gonna
mind.
cut,
It's all
gonna cut off your
irrelevant.
sentence. We don't want to
It's
hear what
all
you have to say. It would be irrelevant. Sure. But the next couple picks are in. Rhodey is going here. Some big names coming out in the third round. We got Deformia to Samurai, Rhodey to Snowstorm, and Geo is a Sandbagger to the Papayas out here on this one. So
Is he just admitting that he's a sandbagger? That's hilarious.
that's what I'm saying. Respect.
Yeah.
You gotta go for him in a minute.
Well,
What are they really gonna do to him? What are the mods gonna ban him? Well, maybe.
Maybe.
So-
Yeah.
So he was in Prospect as Geo as a sandbagger, right? Before.
I think he was in. I don't know if he was in Prospect. He was in Challenger last season on the Drakes. I'm
Oh,
pretty
was
sure.
he? Oh, yeah, he was. He was. That's right. But I think his MMR has gone up. So maybe he started as a sandbagger and now he's risen up, or maybe he's still a sandbagger. And we're all of Challenger is gonna get stomped by him. Who knows?
Maybe he just doesn't know what that word means.
Maybe that's his job. Like
Yeah.
he fills up sandbags.
Ooh. Okay.
Maybe.
For when the hurricanes come in, the floods are
Yeah.
coming. Fill some sandbags.
Bagels,
there's
I think you
should-
there's a lot of useful jobs out there. It's got to be one of the least useful jobs.
You think? What?
No way, dude.
What? You think
What?
flooding doesn't exist? Flooding doesn't happen?
Bagels, I think you should quit your job and become a sandbagger.
Typical manual labor hater. Unbelievable.
Can't believe this.
You're probably not even forklift
That's-
certified, sir.
Checkmate.
You got me, dude. You're right. I just drive it uncertified.
Oh my god.
That's illegal. You're going to
Frozen menace.
FBI, right over here.
we got
why do we have
this
a-
guy. You're looking for this man right here.
And my friend did
Oh.
actually used to work at the Budweiser factory, and I don't think anybody there was forklift certified. And they got pallets like 100 feet tall. So good
Oh,
Godspeed
learn
to
from the
them if there's a
best.
lawsuit.
Wait,
Oh my goodness. Well, we got a couple more picks in here. Dissolve's coming through here and selecting the end of
oh, I
you,
see.
which is a name. So
That
the end of
is-
you. Wow. I mean,
That is intimidating. Wow.
That's dark. That's dark.
I
that
just-
is very dark.
I mean, I'm wearing a jacket, but I got a little cold for a second.
Yeah, that's scary. That's a scary name right there. And we also got Inverse coming back here. I believe they were on Orbit slash Hypernova at some point. Now they're on Motion. And the race are coming in now and selecting Bowser off the board there. So we got Bowser in here. And Bowser has they've come out of the Mario world and now they are playing in Nemesis. So there we go. And they're
Tight,
in the
right?
race. Nice.
I want to try a Bowser laugh, but I can't.
Do it.
You want to embarrass yourself?
Do it. Do it.
No.
Do
You're
it.
gonna get clipped. You're gonna get clipped.
Let's go.
Let's go, guys. Who needs Jack Black when you have me, guys? Come on.
True.
I mean,
expert voice acting right there.
truth.
This is why we got him in the booth right here for the voice acting. Of
Yeah,
course. That's why.
that's actually me.
Yeah,
The
I'm
only
a
re-
little
the only reason.
disappointed because I
Just
just
kidding.
realized that the Juicy Leaf can't get picked up,
No.
and I
Juicy
feel like
Leaf?
that's a solid name
Aw.
right there.
That is a solid name.
Also, I don't know if this person has already been drafted or if he's in another league, but somebody named Big Matt from the Nemesis Discord just sent me. He just sent me a
That's
video
snazzy.
of him getting a double tap. Oh,
That's
it's
snazzy, that's
is it
snazzy.
it must be that one.
Some guy named Big Matt.
I didn't know that's what his name was. Alright,
You made
shout out to Snazzy.
made a
Well,
big
that-
mistake
that is-
not drafting Big Mac.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, next pick is in as well for Flame. They're selecting Bang, and that's gonna put Ascension back on the clock. And I gotta find a fourth player to get on my roster here.
I love how he's hosting the draft and drafting his team at the same time. It's such like a cool thing. He's very studious. Look at
Compliment
him.
him.
I am
Yeah, we
complimenting
don't do
him.
that around here, Charles.
That's not all
I-
around.
This
If
is
there
what
was
happened
a shirt,
yesterday. Penguin started compliment. Rockerman just brings in the fourth people just so he could get a little compliment here and there.
Hey, they gotta learn. You gotta start somewhere. you get a compliment. You get on some more streams, and then you get to become you guys and just roast me at every occasion. So and it's
Let's
too late. I can't get rid
go.
of you. So
Hey, you better be complimenting me too if that's the case.
Really, I love what you've done with your hair.
Thank you. I didn't do anything with it. I woke up like this.
I know. I just like it as it is. It's very nice.
Aw. Okay. Yeah, you want to cast more?
There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Oh, look, bang.
Bang.
The non-silver bang.
Are you still beat up about that?
I
Bagels are
mean,
so-
I didn't even know. I just thought it was. I was slightly disappointed.
No.
But he's on the Flame roster with Dolphin Puck, so
Yeah. Good job, Smooth.
could be
Proud of
another
you
household name.
again. Yeah. Dude.
I could see it. All right. Most of the
Oh,
teams
yeah.
now filled up.
I'm running out of time here, I think. I apologize.
We're just waiting on Ascension. Gosh, these guys draft so slow.
Yeah, what is with Ascension? The GM of Ascension probably doesn't have drip.
All right, I'm making my pick here.
Nice effort.
I try.
You tried. Yeah.
I'm getting-
honestly, I still
I'm
kind of
going-
have to.
Going Ethan X Games mode here.
Oh,
So I
okay.
got a good time. But
Ooh.
there we
Wait,
go.
is that
Where's round are we? Here we go. We're in round 3.
is
now.
that which Ethan is that? Do you know?
the one that was on Hellcats last season?
Okay, I think that's the one that we tried him out last season, and he was pretty good, but we didn't end up going with him. I don't remember exactly why, but he was a solid player, and we ended up playing against him. I think the games are still competitive. If that is the one I'm thinking of.
So Ethan's the one. He messaged me. I was debating. There were a couple people that messaged me. I wasn't sure what to do, so I tried to look for some activity to round things out. So we're going down a little bit on the list. We'll see. We do still some room remaining. Well, I guess we don't have room remaining on the roster. We have cap room remaining, but 16 left over. But solid. I'm pleased. I'm content with our roster. I think we can do something. I think we'll be a solid team for sure. Hopefully we can improve throughout the season, and maybe we'll be back competing for a championship again. So I did like what I got. So
it's not the same long-time Ethan, not that Ethan, but it is a different one who's been around the league. I'm pretty sure.
Bubbly did it merely. He picked up Chiefer God.
She forgot to go with the Bishops rounding out round number 3
Bubbly,
on the board there. So
I gotta say, Bubbly has turned into like more and more of a savage with every season. I feel like he does not hold back anymore.
I've corrupted him.
you love bagels in one time.
You go to one heavy metal concert with bagels, and this is what happens.
Oh my goodness.
As these rosters are pretty much full at this point, I still got to say, the Ray roster is my favorite roster still.
Really?
I have confidence in this Venom team.
Well, as we take a look at the end of the 3rd round here, we're moving on to the 4th. So congratulations everyone that got drafted here. We're moving on to the 4th, and we actually only have 2 picks in the last round. Samurai and Assassins. These are the only 2 in the last round because all the rosters are full at the moment. So we'll see what happens in these last 2 picks. But there already appears to be a potential trade. Oh, never mind. It got deleted. I don't know if I can say this. I mean, I should say it. I saw regret for Geo in the channel there, which was interesting. Straight up. I don't know if that's exactly what they're gonna do, but I'll leak what I saw because I saw it with my own eyes. It wasn't in mod logs, so I saw it with my own eyes. But it's deleted now, so I don't think it's actually happening. So who knows?
Oh, maybe they got a little scared.
Yeah,
It'll still happen.
Scared.
sometimes I get scared.
Be like that
It's
sometimes.
okay to be scared.
It's true. It's okay to be scared.
Yeah.
But no. Go for it.
I was going to announce the next pick here. I was going to say Kilo
That's
is
fine. You
off the
can
board.
carry on.
Kilo's going to go
Kilo.
there.
Wait.
Or Kilo? Kilo? I think it might be Kilo.
I think it's
Going to the
keto,
Samurai.
like the diet.
You think so?
Yeah.
With the L?
That's keto.
Yeah, because it's an L
He's missing
diet.
the cross. He's missing the cross.
Oh,
all right, buddy.
No, it's like that Tyler pick the
No,
other day.
actually though, keto.
Hey,
Okay, I don't want to
respect your
sideline too far, but keto is not a good diet if you're trying to go keto for whatever reason. I would not recommend it. It sent my mom to the hospital. It was it's you don't. It's too much. Just stay away from it. Okay, back to Nemesis.
I don't even know.
Moderation.
Wow. That one took a turn. I mean,
That's
giving us life
tough,
lessons out here.
I'm so sorry.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Seriously, just be careful of your diet is important. You don't want to go for every single fad. A lot of people
Let's
did.
just eat Big Macs, guys. Come on. That's,
Dude, if
Let's
you
level.
get that dirty bulk, you know what I'm
oh
saying?
my gosh. Is this another Chipotle thing? I
No,
swear.
Might be.
It could be. No, you get all I'm gonna say is trust the dirty bulk. You get that. You just build up with calories and you clean it off, and then you'll look beautiful.
Oh my
That
gosh.
being said, just eat whatever you want as long as you exercise. You'll be fine.
Well,
Uh,
I don't know if
to
we
a
can
certain
agree with that.
extent.
I don't know if we can agree
But
with that. But
let's,
the last pick of the draft is in, and it's going to loading an error on the Assassins. The last pick of this draft, and that's going to conclude Season 8 Challenger League draft. There are a couple people that went undrafted, including Vegan for the Chicks. Sad. But I do got to remind these people that did go undrafted. Again, I'll reiterate this every draft. But if you didn't get drafted, the best way is to stay active in the Discord. I know even one team just couldn't select a pick because they only had 3 picks. They got 1540 remaining, the Samurai. But if you stay active in Discord, there are always going to be people that are, going to leave the server, or people are going to want to change their rosters. We do need people overflowing into free agency. So not everyone can get drafted every season. That's just the nature of a draft-based league. If we got everyone drafted and then had no free agents and someone left, we're in trouble. So
Then I'd have to play, and we wouldn't want that, guys.
Exactly. We don't want Charles out here in Challenger. We gotta spare these kids, from their own destruction. So if you didn't get drafted, just stay active in the Discord. Follow the Twitch channel. Be active in the streams. Be active in the Discord. Be active in your league general chat. And if you see some GMs posting, or you see some roster spaces open, and you could fit in the roster, talk to a GM. Say, hey, I saw there's room on your roster. I'm an active player. I'd love to get a chance here if you want to try me out. Just be active. That's what I always look for in my people. Being active, being cool people, and if you're active and good at the game, you'll get picked. So you'll get picked up for sure. So don't fret if you don't get drafted. But
do not fret.
So for anybody
We'll all
that's
be okay.
not aware, if there's any new players in the league, the Season 8 public player sheet, which is where all the teams are, all the players are, that is in the info channel in the Discord. So just click on the info channel. The Season 8 public player sheet will be there, and that's a list for all the leagues, all the players, all the MMR salaries and whatnot. So if you don't even know where you are MMR-wise, and maybe that's why you didn't get drafted, you can find all that information right there.
True. That's very true. Well, while we wrap things up, we're about to move into the Rival League draft here, so I'm gonna ping and let the Rival League draftees know that we're about to head into Rival now. But before we go to the Rival, any final words, guys, on Challenger before we switch over to the Rival League? Any rosters that are, this is a demon roster? I know Bagels was talking about their Ray Ray roster. You still rocking with that roster, Bagels, on Ray Ray?
I got money on it at this point.
Oh, oh my goodness.
I gotta agree with that. I'm gonna say
Ray, we trust.
Ray, once again, I think he's gonna be solid in Challenger, and also on that roster, notable is Grav. I know Grav plays the game a lot. It's very
Venom,
active. What?
Sorry, I just want people to know it's Venom that we're talking about.
On Venom roster. Sorry.
Let's talk about Ray Ray's roster. It's just Ray Ray's roster.
It's basically just Team Ray Ray at this point. But no, I think Grav is gonna pop off this season. I know he's been grinding a lot. He's been getting a lot better from what it seemed like. And with Milk there as well, I think that team's going to be... But also, I don't want to focus on just one team necessarily. I think the Assassins, actually, if they find some synergy, could be a scary team as well with Insk, Jonah, and Jake on there. I think they could do some damage. Even Orbit, I mean, Bagels, I know you have no confidence in Spork, apparently, to win a chip. But he has climbed quite a bit since the last time he played in Nemesis. DJD can be a menace on the pitch. And Scraps is no slouch himself. I think he's a pretty solid third man when he's playing well. But a few solid teams, and I think just with the MMR boundaries being closer together, also it's going to be a pretty competitive league.
Charles, what are you thinking? What are you thinking out of these teams now that the dust has settled? A lot of people have been picked. We got some spicy names like Dolphin Puck over there on Flame with sticker face, Dolphin Puck, Bang, and Sodak.
I love that Flame roster, but I have to say the most overpowered roster right now, and a roster that's going to win the championship. And everybody in chat, you can clip this right now. Yeah, you can clip this right now. Papayas is winning a championship in the Challenger League this season. Okay, it's going to happen, guys. I mean, come on. LK, Midnight, Geo, Blitz. I mean, that's enough said.
Dolphin Puck versus Ray Ray Grand Finals.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is that what you want? Flame Venom?
That's exactly what I want.
Is that a rematch? Flame Venom? Was that season 5? Is that a rematch? Season 5?
Yeah, I
with
think
like
they got
Shaq's on the
swept.
roster.
I
Yeah, where they got
think
swept.
so. Yeah.
Season 5, I think, or season 6.
One of the
Could
two.
be a rematch. But anyways, congrats to everyone that got drafted. If you didn't get drafted, make sure you guys follow the channel. Make sure you guys stick around in the Discord. Be active. Like I said, that's the best way to get onto a team. So make sure you do that. And we're gonna head right into the rival league now. So it's rival leaguing time, and well, things are always spicy in the rival league. And this season, rival league, the bottom went up here to 1600. So 1600 to 1720 in the rival league. Sorry, let me make sure I before I read this. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Merely, we'll let him go for a second, quick. So Merely will be right back, but we are gonna head to rival here in a second. So while we get that going, I guess Bagels, what do you make of rival league now that things have gotten bumped up here to from 1600 to 1720?
I you know, it's definitely gonna be crazy. Like I said before, Challenger through Titan are kind of my favorite leagues to watch, and Rival definitely a big part of that. A lot of good rivalries have been made. Some of the most epic grand finals we've ever had have been in the Rival League grand finals. A lot of game sevens, and still a lot of players that have kind of been around the Rival League range for a while, still in the Rival League. So I don't know. Might be time for some first time championships. I know Valence, he's still hanging around in the Rival League. He still hasn't gotten one yet. Besides being was he sub? He was sub for a championship team. Was he sub for your team when they won, or no?
Oh yeah, I think so. Way back when he was on Pinnacle at one point.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if they won in that season. I honestly
He
can't
needs
remember.
he needs a legit title if so.
Okay,
So I'm rooting for Valence.
fair enough. Fair enough. Charles, what do you make of the rival league before we get things going? I guess there's a lot of people on the board. We got Whiteout with the top 2 picks.
That is a big list.
And Lightspeed of this next 2. I mean, we got going back to back. I mean, Dan's been putting in some work out there to get those top 2 picks.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Does Vortex have a full roster even before the draft? That's
They do.
crazy.
Yeah, they decided
I
to
mean-
stick with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
They got
and
eight
Isaac's
cap
on there?
remaining. Yeah.
Isaac's on there? Oh, okay. That team's dangerous if they have Isaac. Okay, yeah. Look out for Vortex, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Well, they do have a full roster here, so there's gonna be a pick missing in round 2, which you don't see too often. A round 2 pick that's just not there. But Vortex, they stuck with it, and well, Merely's back. We're not that we were waiting for him necessarily, but he's back as we're gonna get Whiteout on the clock here. For their first 2 picks. So we're going to see what the Dan plan is. I think I have some insight on what they are going to do. I don't know if I want to spoil it or not. Maybe I should. I've heard Doodle and Tashega
Ooh,
were
yeah.
going to Whiteout. That's what I've heard through the grapevine with Pharaoh there.
If that's the case, that's a number 1 contending team right there. Because Pharaoh, honestly, at 1607 MMR is honestly a steal. Pharaoh has always been one of those really solid players in Rival League. So if they get Doodle and Tashega, honestly, yep, as he does go number 1 overall. Tashega is honestly one of my favorite players to watch in Rival, along with Valence. I kind of go back and forth between them on who's the best in Rival, but I honestly think Tashega's up there for sure.
And he's going number 1 overall. So Tashega to Whiteout there at number 1, and now we got to see if Doodle is gonna follow right behind with Pharaoh there on the roster. So
Can they afford that?
I think they barely can. Pharaoh's only 1607 apparently.
I know, that's what I'm saying, because Pharaoh is really low.
I do gotta say, so they haven't gone with Doodle yet. But if they do go with Doodle, I mean, this might be nothing, but I did notice his Discord status for the last like month and a half. He just changed it. But it was gaming has been getting stale. So I don't know if that's an indication of a slump, but he did change it now, so maybe he's back, he's refreshed, ready to play. But where do they go? Where do they go?
Wow, I am surprised they're going with a Wolf out here, not
Oh.
Doodle. So things have changed of some sort.
Oh my.
Wolf is going off there. Sans messaged me. He says 2 sloths in my DM. So he's hyped about 2 sloths going off the board there. So Doodle, a surprise there, does not go off the board. Right there, they're going to go with Wolf on their roster, which so I was completely wrong. But Tashega 1706, Wolf 1703, Pharaoh 1607. They got 1610 remaining, and that could be spicy as well, right there.
Yeah, the fact that it wasn't immediate sounds to me like there was some contemplation on Dan's end. But I mean, Wolf is another very solid player. I think even having the baseline of Tashega and Pharaoh, now adding Wolf at 1703 as well, so they're not gonna have much space, but I assume the last spot will be their sub pick. But I think even without Doodle, that team is gonna be contention for top 3 at least.
Yeah, that's a good team. The next pick is in for Lightspeed. They're going with Cram, and I'm curious to see if Lightspeed is shaking things up a little bit because you kind of expected like Tashega Doodle, but now you get Tashega Wolf, and is Lightspeed. They're going with Cram, and then they're also going with Aqua. It seems I don't know if I recognize Aqua, but I do recognize Cram. Aqua Billy Bob is his Discord name. So yeah, Billy Bob going over to Lightspeed. So Cram and Aqua on Lightspeed to go along with Grave. I think that's Graveyard.
Yes,
What's his
I'm
name
assuming,
now?
yeah.
Now Grave on Lightspeed there. So I think that the lack of the Doodle pick there is kind of surprised a lot of people, myself included, because it seemed like from what the grapevine everyone was talking about, that was going to happen, and now they have to wonder: our team's going to switch things up, and I guess what do you guys make of these last 2 picks as well?
Charles, you got any thoughts?
Man, I'm just gonna be honest. No clue who some of these players are. Because I mean, this is just like super high out of where I'm usually am. But I do know that Cram is a pretty solid player. I've watched some of his gameplay, and I know he'll do some good things for Lightspeed. And yeah, Whiteout. I mean, Dan's got something in mind. We'll see if it works out for Whiteout. They got a good roster over there.
He's got the Dan plan.
Remember what we talked about, Charles? The best smack talking comes from a place where you know nothing, so don't be afraid.
Oh yeah.
That's true. You can hype him up and talk smack. When you don't know anything, that's the best time. Or when you got worst player on the team, you gotta talk smack. Getting carried, you gotta make sure to let the other team know. Say, hey, you guys suck. I got carried, but who cares? As I was gonna say, yeah, Doodle is going to Galaxy here. He did have in his name draftable 3 through 16, so he's going to Galaxy there, which is interesting. Galaxy trying to what is that? Are they trying to rebuild that roster? They are. That's their first pick, and 1696 to Doodle there.
I was kind of hoping he was going to fall to where the Thunderbirds might pick him up, and then it would be Valence and Doodle on the same roster.
Ooh, that would have been something right there.
That being said, Blaze is going to select Aspen, former Titan League player. That is a solid pick right there. Who's going to?
Is that actually?
Smooth. I think so. Aspen hasn't been grinding the game like at all the past. I don't even know how long. So, kind of makes sense. I'm assuming it's the same Aspen. So Smooth and Aspen together, both at low MMR value for Blaze.
And they both have exclamation points after their name.
Is there another exclamation point name on the list? Is that what they're going for?
Oh, we gotta watch out. We gotta watch out here. Someone's gonna get selected just based off that. No, there are some.
I don't see any on there.
There are some periods though, and someone's got a dash at the end of their name. So
somebody has a trademark. That's funny.
Smooth has pinged me. He has said it is not the Titan Aspen.
I did. That's what I say. I didn't think it was
another Aspen. Well, because Aspen was only like 1700, so I'm assuming it would make sense for him to fall down. But different Aspen. But Smooth is his teammate, so I think he has confidence in him.
Fair enough.
And Smooth's mechanics have gotten so good the past few seasons. Every time I've seen him on stream, coming all the way down from prospect, even novice. So that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to take this phone call really quick. Sorry.
He's got a phone call. That's all right. We can talk about these next couple picks here while Bagels takes care of that. But the next picks are in. We got Distortion coming in with Hawk, and then we have Chimera's coming in with Sense, and it looks like Critter's actually doing the drafting there, who is now on the Minotaurs, which is interesting. So Critter helping out Rogue and the boys there on that one. And Thunderbirds are coming in. So we got a bunch of picks coming in. Thunderbirds are selecting Steel Iron or Steel OP on the board. So merely someone you probably recognize as well, and a couple of very interesting picks back to back to back right there.
Yeah, Steel Iron or Steel OP now has been around for a little bit with Valence there. That looks like a good duo to my eyes. Depending who they get as their third, I think that could be a pretty solid team. I am a little bit suspect of Chimeras, just because they have no one else on their roster, choosing to build a team around Sense. I don't think Sense is necessarily a bad pick, but I'm not sure if he's the place I would necessarily start to build my team around someone. I'm very curious to see if they have a game plan of people that he wants to play with, or if it was just kind of like a Sense is pretty good. We'll pick him up, but I think that could be a little bit of a difficult roster to build around with, depending how their picks fall. I don't think they have too many high round picks left. But we'll have to see how that one falls. As hey, look who it is! It's the trucker hat guy himself. We got Magma drafted.
Let's go, Magma, the trucker hat man, the former manager, going to the Gravelords. So they got Magma, Shun, and Cosmic on the board out there for the Gravelords. And these GMs, I feel like they really know what they're doing in Rival League, because we are cooking. We are cooking through Rival League. They know exactly what they're doing. No one's getting sniped, and I even know the arrival picks. Our picks didn't get sniped. And we got back to back coming up next. As Blaze, they go ahead and select Gano out there to go Aspen Smooth Gano. He doesn't have a period in his name, at least in the Discord. I don't know if
Let's
that's how
go
it looks on the sheet.
Punctuation Kings.
they're working on it. He doesn't have it on the sheet though, but
I'm back.
he did have it in Discord. Welcome back, Bagels. You missed a lot, and we're about to have two more picks back to back or arrival.
Sandbagging employer that called you, or
You got a job offer. Another one. Sandbagging job offer.
Dang, dude. They're coming in like hotcakes now. Oh, there's a lot of good names on this list. I'm assuming y'all talked about them already, but
yeah.
Well, we just started talking about the more recent ones, but you can feel free to chime in your 2 cents, as I have just now gone through and selected Ibonic and Kaysen to arrival to go with Luis. So
I know.
the
Arrival
picks are
seems pretty trash.
the
to be
picks are
honest.
coming in quick.
There
Why?
you go,
I
Charles.
can barely see that,
I
dude.
don't
The
know.
color's so dark.
I'm just
Anyways.
thinking.
I would just open your eyes if I were you.
I'm
Yeah.
also
Thinking like
colorblind, so that doesn't help.
Arrival.
Oh, that's
is
also
the
true.
worst.
I apologize. You think so?
No, but dude,
Yeah.
Steel Iron teaming up with Valence again. No, they didn't get Doodle, but Steel Iron and Valence, that is a solid combo right there. And Ibonic and Kaysen, also pretty crazy.
And Luis is still on the roster for arrival, so that's who
Best
he
player in
wanted.
Nemesis history.
That's true. That's true. So hoping that Luis and the boys can do something good out there. This is who he wanted, and hopefully we can get our last pick that we wanted as well on there. As Thunderbirds are going through, they're selected Velatech. So, like I said, I feel like people aren't getting sniped at all, or maybe just people had a lot of options in Rival League in the first round. As they just don't stop. Velatech going to the Thunderbirds. Distortion is selecting Drax on the board here, which is interesting to see Drax out here in Rival League getting selected on there. He had Don't Draft Me in his name, and now it says Distortion. So, well, there you go. The tables have turned. The tables have turned.
Life comes at you fast.
It's true.
Ooh, who's Biscuit gonna pick?
That's true.
I think
Hmm.
I have an opinion. I think the Knights are going to win a championship. I really like their roster right now.
Yeah. You want to enlighten us? You want to enlighten everyone who's on the roster right now, Charles?
Yeah, so they have, and they also have, as well. They also have, and
that
to
does
round
seem
it
like a
out, they
pretty
have.
convincing
No,
argument.
yeah, they sound like they could go, and they could even win 100%. Yeah. They will definitely be one of the teams of all time.
One of the teams of all time. They will. Well, for anyone that didn't get the joke, they have nobody on their roster. So, yeah, the Knights are empty right now. They actually traded one of their picks to a rival there in the first round, and they are empty. So, they're gonna have some picks later on. Where does that put them? They have 4 picks still though. They got 31, 34, 44, and 60. So, they'll be around a little bit. But still have some picks here. Is things have finally slowed down while we're waiting for Hydra. I mean, that first round went about as fast as the first round as I've ever seen. I think those picks were coming in like 10 seconds after I posted there. So, um,
Pretty
and
interesting
and
to see
Hy-
that Pelosa's still on there.
and Hydra is going off the board and selecting Squintle here
Oh
with
my!
their pick. So that's some
That's a
spice there.
ballsy. That's a ballsy pick right there.
Think so?
I,
Well,
I know so.
Also, something to note here. This is a completely random tidbit, but Hydra was the only team that didn't make a trade here in Rival League. I don't know if it was the first round this season. No, at all this season. For any season 8 picks, Hydra has not traded any of them. Every other team made some sort of trade in Rival League this season, but Hydra they did not. So, and this is where it's got them here. The 16th overall pick. They get Squintle to go with Biscuit at the moment.
Well, Biscuit knows he doesn't really need any advantage because he's Biscuit.
True.
That's
Are you
You
gonna
could-
need at least
they
these
they
games?
did go 17-1 last season. So
The
and one of-
biscuit buff will take them at least as far as like semifinals. That's almost a given.
yeah. Well, now that that pick's in, guys, the first round it went quick. There's a lot of people on the board there. Some surprises for sure. I mean, look at all these new names going to new places. I mean, Magmon the Gravelord seems wild to think about. I mean, Tesheg and Wolf, we saw those top 2 picks. A lot of other names that are new to the league. I know Velatech is new, helping out the web and dev team, going to the Thunderbirds with Steel and Valence. So, I mean, first round, a little bit crazy out here, a little bit crazy, and we gotta move on to the second round. But maybe I can give some thoughts on what we've seen so far.
I mean, definitely some interesting rosters so far. I like the Arrival picks right now. I like the Thunderbirds picks. I'm really interested to see how Galaxy put some teammates with Doodle and Whiteout. So, Whiteout, Thunderbirds, and Arrival looking pretty good right now. And like Charles said, I mean, Knights, they're killing it.
They're working on it.
Yeah, they don't have a pick until 31. I'm
That's
mildly
wild.
concerned for them.
That's wild.
Actually, more than mildly. And oh no. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, there are a lot of solid players in the rival draft. The list is pretty long. We'll see how that turns out. But other than that, I think most of the picks so far, I mean, I wouldn't have deviated from them too much. Seems like everyone already had an idea of what they wanted and are getting to carry out their game plan.
Yeah, I think this round, especially the second round here, I think is where we might see a little more delay in some of these GMs. They got to do a little bit of thinking. I know I've seen some GMs talking or about some picks that have gotten sniped, or at least I knew there's some picks were going to go and they got sniped from the first round. So I think this round is where things might get a little bit. You have to think a little bit. You have to figure out what the heck you're gonna do. As 2 picks are in here, Bearcats are going to go ahead and select 2 money, and Gravelords are going to go ahead and select Case with their picks. So 2 money from the Thunderbirds now to the Bearcats, and Case, who's been around Nemesis probably since season 1, I believe. And Case still sticking around, and now on the Gravelords with Magma. So Magma and Case out there, part of the team, and interesting couple selections right there.
He's making a return to the Graveyard Shift org.
True.
Back on race when I was the GM, and he actually used to sub up for the Gravelords roster, and I think he won every game he subbed up on the Gravelords. So the Gravelords,
It's a
first
sign.
team I know. Gravelords along with Vortex. I mean, I guess we can't really count Vortex because they already had 4 people, but Gravelords the first team to round out the draft from actually drafting, and just like I suspected, Bubbly is going to pick up Pillow RL, his former Wisconsin Rocket League teammate. Glad to
Ew.
see Pillow reunited with Bubbly again.
He says don't draft me in his name though. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
that's a bold
That
strategy.
that was probably, I would assume, so that he could go to Bubbly's org.
I would reckon.
It's a bold strategy. Instead of breaking the integrity agreement.
Well, you're gonna have to crack down on the other 20 people that have that in their name too. So,
that's true.
I mean,
That's
remember
true, but
Els?
Hey, regardless,
We can
Els.
start with
Well,
Rooney.
Els was a meme though. Els was like, "Don't draft me," but like he didn't.
And then
really
he
care.
actually wouldn't play.
Well, yeah. You would sign up though. You gotta respect the hustle. Respect the hustle. But yeah,
Well,
Pillow
I
RL.
love Els.
We do love Els. Didn't meet him
After
at
seeing him
Worlds.
Yeah, after seeing him in person at Worlds, oh my god, that man is a unit.
He's jacked. He's
Like I
jacked
knew,
up out
I
there.
knew he did wrestling in college, and like I knew he was a big guy, but oh my lord,
Yeah, he was. He would. He could bench press you. I'm sure. Well, maybe.
Absolutely. He could bench press 2 of me.
True. It's very true.
Easy, no problem.
Wow.
We gotta put it to the test. I think I'm around your same dimensions, Bagels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could get both of us, I think.
Oh my
I'll have
gosh.
to experiment next time. Next Worlds. Can Els bench press bagels and Mirror?
Oh my gosh.
Well,
No, that would be
considering the
something.
next Worlds is probably in EU, I don't know.
Well, you never know.
Better grab your passports, guys.
You know, if it's in
That's true.
Germany, though, I might consider it. If it's
Yeah?
anywhere but
Oh.
Germany, probably not.
Hmm. Germany. Nice. Well, back on topic here. Pillow RL go into the Kings with Kratos, who actually moved up 1679 out there. So Kratos
Oh, wow.
and Kratos at 1679 and Pillow RL 1694. That is surprising. Kratos was a really good player in Challenger last season. Interesting to see him move up almost to 1700 on the list there and looking to make some magic happen as we're waiting on the Bearcats, and things have definitely slowed down as the Bearcats are trying to figure things out.
Yeah, Kratos, I mean, he was a menace in Challenger League last season. Definitely, I mean, I would say by far the best player on the Bishops. And now moving up, I didn't realize he had jumped so much in MMR either, but seems like he's been climbing, right, to try and make an impact in the rival league. But I think it depends on who they're going to pick up their third. I don't know too much about Pillow, but if he was on Bubbly's CRL team, he has some knowledge there. I'm sure they're both active players, very important when you're trying to build a roster. If they can get some chem going, we could see some good things.
Pillow's pretty good. I don't know if he's championship caliber, but he's pretty good. I think it depends on how the Kings round out the roster. But they definitely, if they got Pillow on their team, I'd put them as contenders for sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you a team who's not a contender, a rival, a worse team in my opinion.
Hey now,
They do have Luis on their roster, so
We do have Luis. Luis did go crazy last season. He may not have the best internet, but he will go crazy on some people. He may be at like 200 ping.
internet of all time.
He does some pretty bad.
Yeah,
internet.
it's bad.
It's pretty bad.
But
he's cracked still though.
He was pretty much the singular reason that they were able to make it past quarterfinals into semis. Like, it's been a while since I've seen someone turn a series around with that much impact. That was spectacular.
That's factual, and not just saying that because he was on my team, but like the man literally turned that series around. They went down 2-0 to the Knights, and then won 4 in a row, rival in 4 in a row, and that was impressive. I could not believe what I saw there. I was like, well, it was a good run, it was a good meme, and then Luis happened, and I was like, damn. This guy,
for a brief moment, his
this
internet
like
connection was flying.
It was working.
You only witnessed 1% of his power.
True.
I love the philosophy from Velatech in chat. He says, "I sleep on a pillow," which means everyone is sleeping on Pillow.
Oh,
amen. That's philosophy. Right there. It's philosophy 101.
Not me though. Not me though. Never sleeping on a pillow.
No.
What do you sleep on?
He sleeps on the floor, the hardwood floor, just head on wood.
No, I just sleep with my arm under my head. My arm falls asleep. Lose blood circulation. That's dangerous out here.
We're gonna get at him.
That's not where I thought that conversation was going, but Anyways,
the picks are
back on topic.
Mafiosos have selected two people, Pelosa and Lethal, on the board here. Lethal's new, but Pelosa is not new. I've been around for a little bit. Going to the Sloss there for Mafiosos. So, along with Drago on the roster. So, Drago, Pelosa, and Lethal on the board right there.
Again, I'm surprised Pelosa made it this far in the draft. You know, some might say if Knights had a pick, they might have picked up Pelosa, but
Hey,
we'll
they're still
never
working on
know.
it. We're waiting. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We got a couple more, and then we look at the Knights. I mean, Foam did say it was a rebuilding season. I guess the former GM didn't leave him with a bunch of work here. He just has to go with what's given.
That being said, Drago at 1697 might be a little bit too high for what I think he's worth, but also Drago, former champion in season 5, I believe, went the Panthers.
Yeah, I
So
think you're
he
right.
does have a lot of playoff experience, and Pelosa really solid. So we'll have to see how Lethal fits in there. As Galaxy's just going to select what a wholesome name, just Michael.
Michael. I love it.
I thought? Well, I don't want to slander this guy. Well, maybe that's not slander, but I thought I recognized the name from someone else there. But maybe he's probably just a new guy. Michael.
I hope his real name is like Jared or something.
there's someone like that that's just completely. Oh yeah. I don't know if I could say that. There's a well-known Nemesis person that. Well, never mind. I'll stop. I'll stop before I do that.
Just move on.
I'm moving on.
Anyways,
Galaxy's back on the clock again here. Before we get too deep here, Galaxy's back on the clock. They selected Michael on their roster, so they have Doodle and Michael on the board, and they're looking to get a third. So DJD looking to make some magic happen for their third.
you
like DJD?
pick up YSL. I would love to see a YSL and Doodle combo, but it's not possible.
Oh,
Unfortunate. So yeah, well Charles, what are you looking at? What are some names that you recognize or names you want to shout out here that are still on the board at the moment? There are a lot of names still on there. I think Rival might have the most people, most draftees in it this season.
I'm looking through and I don't see it. Oh, Cottney. That's the one.
Cottney is back.
Right there.
Cottney is back, but I think Cottney was saying that to not draft him. He just wanted to see rival league chat or something like that. So I was like, my man, all right, I guess. But either way, Cottney, a crazy person if he was just trolling and actually wanted to get him a team at some place. So
I mean, little does Cottney know, the higher up you go in the leagues chat, the more quiet they are.
That's true.
yeah.
I mean, when something happens in Titan General, though, all hell does break loose. But it's
true.
only about once every 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's a big payoff. I'd say it's worth it.
It is a pretty big payoff.
You'll see it, and yeah, you're like, damn, these Titans got beef out here.
Meanwhile, every day in Novice General, I'm assuming, is like super active.
He's assuming.
Yeah.
I haven't had manager perms in quite some time, so I haven't seen it. But back when I was, oh my god, it was like 1,000+ messages a day in Novice General.
They do go crazy out there. They do go crazy.
Yeah, less so nowadays. Unfortunately, I kind of miss the old days of Novice General.
We need more Chiefer gods.
Yeah.
We need more smack talk.
I think Bubbly has instructed his players to put "Don't draft me" in his name because he's selected another guy. Well, Reiki's going off the board to Galaxy. Don't want to pass over Reiki, who's been around and a great player there. And then another person for Bubbly here on the Kings says "Don't draft me." He's been with Elite Inferno on there and getting selected. Don't draft me in his name, but he's been drafted by the Bubbly Reaper. So, Bagels, you were talking about that roster, and maybe you can talk about that, and then maybe quickly about Galaxy as well.
I don't actually know this man, but I know that Bubbly always drafts really well. So, I'm trusting in Bubbly's plan. I'm not in the Chess Hall org anymore, as I am non-playing, but I do trust Bubbly's plan. And going back to Reiki, former Sub-Zero player there in Rival. So, don't know anything about the Plain Jane there and Michael, but Doodle and Reiki, that's a pretty good combo for the MMR value right there. So I'm starting to like Galaxy a little bit more too.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Michael, but already having Doodle and Reiki on there, I'm kind of surprised Reiki fell this far too. Like, I feel like he is a huge steal for his MMR. Maybe, I guess I can see it because his MMR is a little bit lower, but he's someone who definitely has a lot of pop-off potential. And yeah, paired up with Doodle and Michael Scott there, I think I think they could do some good things.
Oh, YSL's off the board.
YSL is off the board. Going to the Chimeras here, who I don't think they had many people on their roster. They just had Sense. So Sense and YSL, an interesting combo this season. Sense was on Distortion, YSL on the Thunderbirds, and now teaming up on the Chimeras.
Wait, how did Sense go from Distortion to Chimeras?
The draft.
Oh, he got drafted earlier? Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
when I
how-
was on the phone.
Oh, well, that'll,
That's when
that'll
I was
do
on
it.
the phone. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sense did go number 8 overall tonight. So
Well, those are two solid picks right there.
fair enough. Well, I also have to.
What do the
I
Knights
also
have to say about this?
they did not have a pick yet. I'm still waiting. As a rival's on the clock.
Almost
here.
there.
We're working on it. I've got to talk to my boy Luis and make sure that we're going with this player. He has an idea.
I think that would be solid. Yeah.
Goff speaking the true. The chess hall is filled with non-truthers.
Luis,
What does that? What does that mean? Oh,
I think that means don't draft me, but don't draft me thing. Yeah.
all right, Charles, go ahead.
Also, Sans going
I said-
the what was the GM that was forcing people to Khan Sans the forcing Cotney to play if he drafts him.
Interesting.
Who are you
listen,
picking, Rocketman?
Louise, if he wins this championship, he should use the money to buy a new router.
It won't be enough, but
Why do you?
Uh,
Hey,
I mean-
you never know.
it depends on how good of a router he wants, really.
That's true. I'm going with Hayden here for our selection. Luis was telling me about him. I did actually see Hayden last season, and the man has been clipping everywhere. I saw that, though. He's posting his clips. He's got them in a GIF somehow, which is impressive. I don't think I've seen people put their clips into GIFs. I don't know what he's got working, but hey, a man sophisticated like that? Okay.
They're very high effort. I think he has when he was posting that, I think he's slowed down recently, but he was posting some of the best clips I've seen in
He's going
Clips
crazy.
channel.
Definitely
Freestyler
the best
out
player
here.
in Challenger mechanically last season.
Mm.
Glaze is upset there in chat. He said in chat, bro, there's no shot the player I have in mind hasn't got drafted yet. He says if I get drafted, big W, then all caps, no, Rocker Man, you gotta be kidding me. Well, that's how the draft goes, I guess.
Wait,
Someone manifested it.
Well, you shouldn't have said anything. Once you said that, I knew who you were picking, and I snagged him. So thank you for that. So that's how it goes, I guess, sometimes. But
Doesn't stop a rival from being the worst team in the league, though. Unfortunately, sorry guys.
Well, now when we win our division again, we'll show everyone what's up.
Right.
We gotta defend the Central Division title out here.
Again,
So-
though, the Central Division is always stacked. So,
Except for last season.
Are you kidding me, Bagels?
oh my god, no, I'm sorry. I might miss a few more picks.
Oh,
Fair
The
enough.
sandbaggers really want you, man. Go for it.
it.
Yeah, they're hot demand.
They heard it. They heard us talking about it. And they were like, "We got to get this man a job." They said,
It's actually the Sandbagger Union calling. They heard him on stream insulting their profession.
That's true. He's gonna put it single-handedly put him out of business. So they had to make sure
They're
put some
pleading with him.
respect on his name, I guess, for sure.
All right.
But
Got Blaze up now?
yeah, Blaze is up here. They're taking some time to make their selection. They have Aspen, Smooth, Gano, and they have, oh my goodness, 1757 remaining. So
Whoa, what?
they've
Oh,
surely got to be going up high, right?
You would imagine. Maybe they're taking so much time because there's no exclamation points left to pick.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think they're
plan
gonna
was
draft
called.
me, guys. I wish
Yeah.
the cap room available.
Probably.
So is your name happen to be Mew_Junior because that's who they've just selected?
Yeah, that's my alt account, guys.
Oh, for sure.
Great. Well, there you go. You've been drafted, so congratulations. At what was that 7? Was I say 17-17? Is that what I said, or 17-16?
Okay. So they just went with the
17-16.
highest player. That makes me think
What?
that they had either someone else in mind, or they were just kind of winging it. Because yeah, that was just the highest player left, and they had the most cap room. So I don't have too much info. I don't know if either of you guys know anything about Mew, but it doesn't feel like a pick
But
that
it's
is
me, though.
based on prior information. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Well,
Yeah,
there we
it's
go.
totally
I,
me.
I think I actually do recognize you being active in the server. So I think it's a solid pick, especially for the MMR there. If they're worth the MMR, then respect. So there they go. And the pineapples are coming in, and they are selecting Day. I don't know where they fall on the list there, but they are selecting them.
They are right there.
Kyle Beast.
There we go. Day or Dalen there is getting off the board of the Pineapples, who they have Cart, Cool Kyle, and Day. So this is Kyle's team, actually. They have Cart and Kyle, and then they're selecting Day, and they have 1630 to work with. So turn around things out there for them.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that Kyle and Smooth matchup.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Kyle does in Rival. He was a very solid challenger player. If he has improved, he jumped a lot in MMR, so that feels like it could be mildly concerning for me if he can play to the performance. But the guy was really good. He has a great mentality, like just a great all around person. I would say a really good person to have on your team for that mental buff. But with Day and Cart, not too much information. I think they could be solid. Also, Foam did vouch for Mew, so he said Mew is good. He's played him in AAA.
Play
So
444.
that could be, or oh yeah.
I was just saying that. That's not what he meant, but just want to throw it out there. But
Yep.
well, we got some big news here, guys. We got some big news. The Knights are on the clock. The Knights are on the clock here, Charles. Finally, it's been a long
my
awaited time, but they're on the clock here, and they're going ahead and they're making a selection already. They got someone in mind. They got a champion of the rival league last season,
Wait.
and they're selecting LSM, the Hydra sub,
Oh.
out there. Season 7 champion. He sat on the bench all season, didn't play a game, but he got a free tag just by being the perfect MMR amount. The Knights are selecting him though, but so we don't really know anything about him besides the fact that he won a championship. But Charles is at their time now. Now that the Knights have pulled off this miracle selection.
Yeah, I think it's their time. I mean, obviously you have the player you just mentioned, and rounding out that roster, just really looking deadly.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. They're working on it though. They're working on it. Hey, who knows? Maybe they'll surprise you. You never know what can happen in these final rounds. And
This is
how
true.
rosters change could be true. Also, someone said in chat, Kyle's internet was not cool in the playoffs last season. That's pretty toxic. That's pretty toxic.
It was
Also,
actually like his power.
yeah, I think it was his power. But
Oh yeah, that's right. The
if he
internet
wins, he can go buy a new transformer. So good luck.
Yeah.
As you do, just go buy a new transformer real quick.
Yeah, totally.
Well, speaking of Hydra and LSM, they're on the board now. So congrats to LSM going over there to start the new roster. Hydra's selecting Stacked, the man who was trash talking to Bagels. He trash talking so bad he's crying off screen right now. So but he's getting drafted. He's getting drafted to Hydra now to go along with Squintle and Seabiscuit. So there you go. And that rounds out round 2.
Yeah, okay. So some solid picks for the second round. Definitely people were taking more time here. I think this is when the chaos started to ensue. We saw people's picks getting sniped left and right. Well, maybe not left and right, but quite a bit. But once again, the good thing about Rival League is there's so many options. You can get a little bit unlucky if all your picks get selected, but there are plenty of people to choose from. I mean, even still looking on the board, I see some decent players. Koala, Quick Snail wasn't bad. We got a polished sign out here, vibin. There's plenty of space left and not too many picks left. So even for a team like the Knights, which the Knights picks, I forget exactly who it was who sent them all away last season. I think it might have been Speed if I'm not incorrect, but Foam got put in a bit of a tough position. Didn't really have any spots, which is why they are struggling, unfortunately.
Well, you did mention Palestine as we're moving on to the third round here. He's getting drafted to the Bearcats
Let's
as you
go.
say that. So speak his name into existence. Say his name, and there he is. He popped up there for the Bearcats. So Palestine, and yeah, there's a lot of names you recognize. The Nemesis, like Kinetics up there. Ketchup was there last season. Quick Snail, Grambo is on the list. I mean, there are a lot of. There's Alex RL, the one of the prospect MVP contenders last season out there in Rivals. Sendo. I mean, and those are just the names. Some of the names I recognize. Obviously, there's more I recognize on there, but I mean, the board the board is filled. The board is filled. It's gonna be tough for some of these people to make some decisions. I think to figure out who you're going to draft at this point. So,
Yeah.
they're-
Uh, uh, uh. It's as it goes on, it gets a little bit more difficult to start. It's really important, I feel like, at the beginning of the draft to try and get the pick that you wanted. And sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. But everyone had a pretty smooth start. Now I feel like towards the end, it's gonna get a bit rocky for everyone.
That's true. And that's how it goes. And the Quick Snail is off the board there. So the Knights now, a Quick Snail and LSM, 1642 and 1641 there. So they're hunting around the middle of the pack there. Charles got some people on the roster now, looking good.
I love the Knights. They're my new favorite rival team. Besides Blaze. I love you, Smooth. But Knights, yes, very good team.
You forced him to say that part. Don't you diss my org.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Understandable there. As well, there you go. Quick Snail's off the board, who was another great player from last season that we recognize. Were they on Vortex, if I recall correctly? Quick Snail? Or no, maybe I'm lying.
I don't.
Or were they?
Oh, I'm struggling to
I-
remember now.
I think
Whiteout?
Whiteout, okay. I can't remember if it was Vortex or Whiteout. It was one of those blue teams, so yeah, Whiteout it is apparirally. I recognize
colors.
I remember the logo colors. I remember just like watching Quick Snail. I just remember Quick Snail blue. That's what I remembered. I didn't know if it was Vortex, the new Vortex logo, or if it was Whiteout. So Quick Snail from Whiteout last season, who had a run there, almost took down Hydra in that one, and now
Almost.
he's heading over to the Knights. So congrats to Quick Snail, and Galaxy is coming right back, and they're selecting Voids, who I don't recognize necessarily, but they're going to Galaxy to what is that? It's going to round out. Is it going to round out their roster there? It is. So Doodle, Michael, Reiki, and Voids on the roster there. So Galaxy's rounded out at this moment. So
Yeah, still looking. I mean, they got their picks pretty early, and I still think they're looking solid. I think it's really gonna probably come down to I haven't seen Michael play yet, but if he can play a solid position on that roster, I think they're gonna be just fine.
I think Michael's the best player to ever exist.
Fair enough. With a name like that,
yes, of course. Of course. Well, now we're waiting. We don't know where Bagels is. This man is he's really letting it all out there. Really letting those tears flow. So thank you, Stacked for that. But he's still working on it. But regardless, we're waiting on the Thunderbirds now, who actually are going to make their pick. They're selecting Sprinkle RL off the board. So what does that put for the Thunderbirds roster there? Does that round them out as well?
Yeah, they'll be all filled up.
All right. What do we got there, Muriel? Who they got on their roster now to round things up?
So they got Valence, Steel Iron, formerly Steel OP now, and Velitech now filled out with Sprinkle. Once again, another team where I think the duo is going to be very good, and it's kind of on the third player in Velitech. I haven't really seen him play myself personally. Was he around last? He was around last season, correct?
At the very end, I don't know if he
At
played.
the very end, yeah. Okay. I'm curious. He was claiming. I saw earlier in the chat. He was saying he was going to be the best player in Rival this season. So I'm gonna hold him to that obligation. We'll see where he ends up if he can live up to the hype he built for himself. But with Valence and Steel on your team, I mean, you got pretty good shoulders to stand on. So we'll have to see.
Cody has just been selected to the mafiosos, and he says in the chat, "I will be a decoration if you draft me. I'll see schedule every match for SNRL." So, well, there you go. You got yourself a decoration. I don't know why he's in the draft pool if he can't
Let's go,
play.
Kanye.
Sans is calling him his favorite rug. So, congrats, I guess. Well, there you go. There you have it. And, well, yeah,
There you have it.
there you have it. As Chimera's on the clock. Chimera's on the clock. They're like in Ketchup or Chasing the Great, who was he was egoing in the chat a little bit. Maybe just jokingly saying how did this person get drafted before me, but he got drafted anyways to the Chimeras, who's been around last season, recognized the name. I believe was that no, I was gonna say, is that Bishops or was it Bubbly's org? Or was he on Lightspeed? See, I'm thinking Ketchup Red. Ketchup Red. Someone will fact check me on this. They'll tell me, but
They'll tell you you're wrong. Don't worry.
They'll tell me I'm wrong. I'm on a completely different team.
A shame that Bagels
Lightspeed.
isn't here. He would have loved to see
Food?
Lightspeed. Yeah, he would have loved to
Lightspeed.
see the food going now. Thank God Ketchup got drafted.
Oh,
Bagels
yeah.
can sleep tonight
Yeah. I feel
after
like
he's done
Jason's
crying.
gonna be that Jorbage personality in rivalry.
You
Yeah.
need a little trash talk sometimes.
So we've almost
gotta
got
have
one in each then.
There we go.
Got Jorbage, Chiefer, now Ketchup. Just missing 3
We
more.
got, we got
Come on,
Critter
who's
for
gonna step up, guys?
Critter for
true.
prospect.
True.
Of course. Most toxic man in Nemesis. Jokes, of course, but yeah, that's interesting. I was gonna bring something up, and now I forgot what I was gonna bring up. This is so sad. I don't know, but the Kings are on the clock. I'm sure I'll remember it. It's gonna pop up in my head very shortly, and that's that. I know it. So,
And
But,
yeah, the Kings just looking to fill out their last slot here as well. We're heading into the end. Every team except for Knights has 3 players. I would be sweating a little bit if I was on that Knights roster, hoping if I do have a pick, it doesn't get sniped. They do have. Okay, they have 44, so they're not too far away. They just gotta hold on a little bit longer.
we'll have to see here as things are getting moving. Bubbly, he says, "Can you just give me anyone?" None of them responded. Well, you make a selection, Bubbly Reaper. He's got it. He's selecting Koala on the board here.
Okay.
This is the Koala Bear, I think. This is a different koala. There's like the koala that was the MVP of Challenger way back in I think season 6, and then there's the koala bear who I don't think he was on. Was he on Whiteout? I don't know. He's on a blue team, I think.
So the mid koala is what we're saying.
Well, I didn't say that, but hey, when you have the same name as someone else, you can only be compared to each other. So
That's true.
one of them
I've never
is
seen
better than the other.
I've never seen this koala person play. I just want to say this for a fact.
Unfortunately,
but you're still gonna call them mid.
Yeah.
Correct.
Of course.
Perfect. Oh, he was on Bandities. Okay.
Bandities. Oh, okay. Understandable. That might have been a long time ago. I think, where was he last season? He was somewhere last season. I swear he was on Whiteout or something. I don't know.
Well, speaking of Whiteout,
speaking of Whiteout, this just seems to happen like that. We talk about it in team, and they're on the clock here for Whiteout. So, yeah, these teams. This is like a sharp contrast merely to the first couple rounds. We had like the first round was like speed run, like everyone drafted in like half a second, and now as we got to like rounds 2 and round 3, they're really contemplating their picks now.
Honestly, it's not that hard. It's just whoever has the better name.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Do you need a good name? It is always useful.
I mean, I don't think Whiteout is really sweating no matter what. Still with Tashega, Wolf, and Pharaoh. Like I mean, I already said, but top 3 team in my opinion. Straight out of the gate, I would be very surprised if they don't rank high in power rankings and live up to it.
for sure. But well, there they go. They're going to select TMK MBL.
Okay.
However you pronounce that. I think it's just TMK for short. Tunkable. Yeah, something like that. But he's going to whiteout to round out their roster. So getting the sub potentially that they were looking for with their main three roster, 5 cap room remaining. So Tashega, Wolf, Pharaoh, and TMK on a whiteout. And that puts the pineapples on the clock. And hey, they're ready to draft right away. They're gonna select Saucy for their pick. Oh, I also remembered what I was gonna do just now. I was going to remind people to follow the channel and also check out the Nemesis merch in the store. There's some org merch. We're still rolling it out. I still got a couple more work to do. With everyone getting drafted, the org merch is in the shop, and there may or may not be a code there for a discount code. So there's a couple of teams already in there. I think we got the top couple of orgs down. I think we got A
Oh,
through
Firestorm is obviously in there, right?
EF. I think I got A through F.
Obviously.
Org's A through F, so
Yeah.
not quite the Firestorm. They're J, but
Buy the Firestorm hoodie.
yeah, by the Firestorm. What do you?
Shameless plug.
There you go. It's not in there yet, but it will be. So
No, just buy it now.
Buy it anyways. Pre-sale. Buy it before it happens. But yeah, make sure you guys follow the channel. Make sure you guys, if you're gonna be following along with Nemesis this season, a lot of crazy games. The Twitch channel always has some wild matches going down. So with all these people going different places, who knows? So, but yeah, Pineapple's gonna select Saucy. I don't know if I said that, but it's on the screen. I also needed to put the Knights on the clock so they can make their pick.
Wow, you gave them extra time.
I did give them extra time to select
Biased.
it.
You know what? Actually, we'll give it to them. They kind of need it.
They need it, yeah. But they're on the clock here, looking to find another person to go with the Quick Snail and LSM on the board. So they got 33-43 remaining, and they're going in and selecting Grambo, who I love Grambo. That's a great guy right there. I don't know if anyone knows much about Grambo, but chill dude, and he's going to the Knights. So congratulations to him.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't recognize the name. I don't necessarily know who that is. Can you speak to his Rocket League skill at all, or just his personality?
He was on the Kings last season. They did make the playoffs, so as a 4 seed.
Oh, okay.
I know he said he was looking for something new, something new this season. He didn't necessarily like the way the Kings roster and all that shaped out, but I think he's a pretty good guy. I've played him a couple of times in ranked before. He farmed me a little bit, so he's solid for sure. Well, just because he beat me in ranked, I guess doesn't necessarily mean he's solid, but.
A little bit of a side note. I don't like what's going on in the chat right now. I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the chat. We'll ignore that. Ignore the chat. Stop these guys.
Yeah.
Distortion's on the clock. Everyone, close your eyes.
Come on, guys. Don't talk about that in the chat. Put in suggestions. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
No, not troll suggestions. Let's not do that. Can give us some ideas. As Distortion, their pick is in. And they're selecting Botsy for their pick, who's also been around Nemesis here and there. Used to team with Edwin on the Kings a while back. Got him to sign back up in the league, and they're getting selected to Distortion there for the second last pick in the third round. And that leaves us with Hydra to close things out. And then there's only 3 more picks left in the Rivalry Draft. So Rivalry Draft almost done here on this one.
Well, you know, his name's Botsy. I hope he's closer to Nexto than Boomer All-Star Bot. But yeah. I also don't recognize that name, so I'm not quite sure. Getting towards the end here. What's his... Okay, he's in at 16-12, so a little bit lower. Might just be rounding out the roster there at the end of the day.
Yeah, that could be the case. What does Distortion have right now?
Oh, actually... See, they have Hawk, Dexter, Drax, and now Botsy. So... Might be a starting spot open. I mean, I've never seen him play, so I can't speak to his abilities. Could be one of those players. Sometimes you draft someone and you're like, you know, they're low MMR. I just need a sub, and then they pop off, and you're like, okay, never mind. You're gonna start.
Yeah. Well, last pick is in. Hydra has gone and selected Kiwi here.
Yo.
So Kiwi's making it off the board in the rival league there. We get Stacked, Seabiscuit, Squintle, and Kiwi. Is this another Biscuit powerhouse team as we look at the end of round number 3?
Um,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if it does look like that to me.
No, I think actually they're the worst team in the league besides Arrival.
He's got some bold takes. Some bold takes over here.
The
For
thing
sure.
is, like, pretty much every time, there's two outcomes for when Biscuit drafts most of the time, and that's A, he picks up someone that's very clearly like the best or one of the best players in the league, or B, he picks someone completely at random and they turn out to be the best player in the league. So we have yet to see if the second option is viable. But I like Squintle is good. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a solid player. I don't really know much about Stacked. And Kiwi, I mean, I'm assuming he'll be the sub. A little bit lower MMR there. I'm just not seeing the same kind of Hydra dominance that we've seen in the past from this.
I mean, I remember last season when the draft happened, like everyone knew they were like that Hydra team with those guys, Biscuit, Mayo, Tashega. They were like, damn, that's a team right there. This one, you never know, but I mean, Biscuit, he just has an uncanny way
Yeah.
to just win. he's he's just that guy. He just wins. Whatever it takes. Made a deal with the devil. Who knows? But he just wins. So that's just how it goes. So that's the end of round 3. We've only got 3 more picks left in the draft. We got Lightspeed, Chimeras, and Knights. And Lightspeed has already gone through and selected Pred with their selection. So Pred once again making a return there to Nemesis and making a return to Lightspeed. So I guess maybe not a return to Lightspeed, but making his move to Lightspeed there. So Pred there, and yeah. Oh, also, yeah, sorry, the list. So someone messed up the list here. I will fix this.
Uh,
I seriously gotta stop looking at the chat. I'm just
Yeah, I would not recommend. Oh, okay. I think I see what happened here.
well, Mafiosos. Let's see where they living. Sense, YSL, and Ketchup. Looks like a solid roster. And luckily, Critter knows exactly who he's drafting for the last pick, so should be pretty free.
Someone has managed to mess up the entire drafty list. So bear with me for a second, but we can look at the chimeras while we. Yeah.
What
So
the?
let's. Oh, here it is. There we go.
Oh,
I
okay.
have sorted it. Someone made a little oopsie there, but we fixed it now. So the players have come back. They exist now. So
Luckily.
there we go. All right, Chimera's on the clock. We can reset their timer since the players were gone. But they'll be back on the clock here, and they get to think about who they want to take here. As we're almost rounding things out here. I'm also concerned that Bagels is not back yet. He is
I'm telling you, man, sandbaggers.
the
They're very
sandbag.
persistent.
They showed up at his house. Sandbaggers are there, but the Chimeras, they're also ready here to make their pick, and they're selecting Zay with their pick, Zay. Like him, don't necessarily recognize, but Zay looking to. Oh goodness, there's a couple of Zays. Hopefully, this is the right one. It is nice. So Zay going to the Chimeras there. And what does that give him for the roster? He was the lowest MMR left, and 16-15. He's actually the only one they could have picked for Zay. So lucky them. As they now have Sense, YSL, and Ketchup, and then Zay on that one. So that's that. And then we got the Knights. Last but not least, the Knights on the clock to round it out with the final pick of the draft. Critter saying it's a content team. Understandable.
They still have 1705. They've got plenty of options actually. I see Nolly up there actually. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure, maybe he didn't show up to the combines or wasn't active, but unfortunately very high MMR there going unpicked. If he does turn out to be a good player, it could be someone that ends up getting swapped out later, but for now it's just the Knights we have left to see.
Yeah, and their selection is in to round things out. They're going with Flip 10-10. on the board there. Was on Lightspeed, even had Lightspeed in his name still, but now he's heading over to the Knights, and that is going to round things out for the rival league draft. So, all things considered, here I guess we can take a look at some of these rosters now that things have rounded out here for rival league. Once again, I'll reiterate this one more time. Well, I guess second to last time. But if you didn't get drafted, again, make sure to stay active in the Discord. GMs and teams are going to be looking for active players, especially with this first week or two before the regular season. They're going to need some active people. Some of these people that they just said, "Hey, I'm just going to select this guy," like Cotney there, who says he can't play. Don't draft him. I know there's already been a move made to drop him and pick up Sendo. So that just shows you that's literally what could happen right here. Samurai signed someone already. There's been a couple trades. So if you didn't get picked up, just be active in the Discord. The GMs are going to look for that. Follow the channel, be active in the Twitch, be active in Discord, show up to the streams, show up to the other Nemesis events, and those GMs will see that and they'll give you a shot. So, like you can see with some of these people already, the moves have already been made. There's been trades, there's been ads, drops, all sorts of things already happening, and there will definitely be more. That's kind of the nature of things. You need free agents, and we'll have some people that will be moving around for sure. So don't get discouraged. Just stay active, and you'll get a good shot. So. With that being said, let's talk briefly about these rosters before we take a short break and head into Titan. Charles, maybe I'll start with you. What are you looking at here out of the rival league? I know you maybe don't know too many of these people, but now that things have kind of settled, the Knights do have a roster now, so they're not blank. But what are you kind of looking at out of these rosters? Anything surprise you so far?
Top 3 teams: Lightspeed, Vortex, and Blaze. All I gotta say.
Lightspeed, Vortex, and Blaze. That could be interesting. Lightspeed is Cram, Aqua, Pred, and Grave. Vortex, they already have their full roster. Leash, Ice Panther, Flame Intruder, and Isaac. And then he said Blaze with Mew Jr., Aspen, Smooth, and Gano. So, well, there you go. Mirrorly, what are you thinking right here?
I think that my top 3 actually is completely different, but such is the nature of the preseason, all we can do is really guess. But if I had to guess, I think it's a crime to not include Whiteout or Thunderbirds in the top 3. Looking at these rosters, both look extremely solid. I also think Arrival or Galaxy could also be pretty high up there. Some solid picks. There's so many players on these teams already that have played against each other, have played with each other before. I feel like the chemistry is already there for a lot of them, and not only that, but the individual skill is there. So for my top picks, and then of course, that's without debating how the Knights are going to win it all. Obviously,
I'm back again.
He's back just in time for us to end the rivalry.
The Knights got a roster.
They did.
Oh my god, it's possible.
You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it here, but they now have a roster. Well, old Bagels, on your quick instincts, now that you're back, we were just wrapping up the rival league draft. So now that I'll let you quickly scan these rosters. What are you looking at? Who are you liking here? What surprises you? Or what do you think is interesting out of these? Well, a lot of new people going to a lot of new places. What are your thoughts here?
Like it all.
Yeah.
No, seriously though. Honestly, my dark horse candidate at the moment is the Kings roster, and I actually really like Arrival, Thunderbirds, and Whiteout. Kind of what I was saying earlier. None of these new names on any of these other rosters are really doing anything for me. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to kind of wait and see how they start to perform in the first few weeks of the season. Even Seabiscuit's team on Hydra, not really impressing me at the moment. But Biscuit, he's one of those players that always finds ways to win, so I do have confidence in him.
That's true. That's true.
Also, apologies to anybody that wanted to see some more Bagels action on camera. I had to take care of some official business.
The sandbaggers. The sandbaggers.
Yeah, I had to phone in some favors for Titan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right, folks. With that being said, the rivalry draft is concluded. Normally we'd go right into the next draft, but we're actually going to take a short 5-minute break or so. We're going to switch up some casters here. We're going to get the Sands bar in the booth. So I know some people may be excited for the Sands Sans casting debut. I don't think he's not gonna have a face cam, but he'll be here in the booth. We can look at it and pretend like it's his face cam, but Sans will be in the booth talking some draft with us. But Charles, thanks for joining us here on the drafts. It's good to have you back, and excited to have you here for another season.
Oh, I'm so excited, guys. Oh, this is gonna be so cool.
Dude, the
Heck yeah.
Charles with the forklift certified moment and the Knights roster thing, those were my standout moments so far. I like that the Knights roster joke became a thing for like the whole draft.
They were literally the last pick too, so we had to round them out at the very end. So there we go. Shout out for that. And yeah, we're gonna take a short 5-minute break. Let our casters rest their voices. Go take a bathroom break, get a drink. So stick around. We're gonna be coming back with the Titan League after a short break. So make sure you guys follow the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Don't wanna forget what you feel like, what you feel like. Don't wanna forget what you feel like, what you Tell me somebody how long he will be on my mind. He will be on my mind. He will be on my mind. Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Heaven knows. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here. We got one more draft on our way as we're heading to the Titan League. The big boys are out here, and we got the big boy casters in the booth here. We got Merely and Bagels are back here with us, and we also got the new man in the booth. I guess technically making his casting debut here on the Titan League draft. We got the sloth man himself, Sans Bar. Sans, welcome to the booth here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
That sounded very forced.
So
That sounded very forced. he was holding back what he wanted to say. He wanted to say, "Screw you, Rocker Man."
It was rock.
It'll come out, don't worry.
Is what it was.
It'll happen at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, guys, we got the Titan League, and I need to move this back over and head over to the Titan League draft. As there were a bunch of interesting trades that have happened here, including myself trading for the number 1 overall pick in Titan. Bagels, what do you make of that? With my now empty roster from the runner-up Pinnacle, now having to make a selection here at number 1 overall.
I think you fell prey to the bad GM route of not having your players re-sign. So I'd say you've done it to yourself. Didn't you re-sign all your players and they didn't react?
Well, that was a story. I misread. Well, here
It was a blunder, is what it was. I think
it was a blunder. Basically, I misread Deluxe's message. He said, "There's not a lot of time left, so I guess I'll just not resign." But I read it as, "There's not a lot of time left. I'll just resign." And Insanity was waiting on if Deluxe was going to resign. Edwin was up in the air about that, and so we let him go. And then Gabe said he wanted to resign and didn't react. So that is how we lost the defending runner-ups. That's how my roster is empty. And well, that doesn't necessarily explain how I got the first overall pick, but we did a little finessing.
I will say you're in a decent spot. You do have more than a decent spot. You have the number 1 overall and the 15th. So definitely a lot of room to work with, even though you got pretty empty right there. Are you waiting to make your pick because you want me to say who's best, or?
Oh no, I was too busy looking at Ruth in the chat telling me to
Oh,
mod
okay.
Doodle, but Doodle's been modded for like 10 minutes. So
Okay.
um
I mean,
yeah,
there's so many people to choose from. There's also a lot of 2Ks on here that are
that's
new
true.
to the league. Well, not a lot, but we
So
got Guh and Vela coming in as two new 2Ks, along with Max, Larry, and Luca, and basically Coop, who's at 1993, and Dank up there at a hefty 1964. But honestly, Dank kind of impressed me last season. I was kind of memeing because coming up from the lower leagues, I didn't think much of him. But after playing Spartans, they were definitely a force to be reckoned with, and Dank has gotten a lot better. Bubbly's been talking him up as well. So definitely a lot of value up there, especially deluxe and up. But definitely a lot of value down below 1900. I think Titan League overall is stacked. You can't really go wrong with whoever you pick here.
well the pick is in, and I'm going with Mad Max here. I
Yeah,
traded up to
I had
get
a feeling.
I traded up to get this pick, and I knew what had to be done. When you see Mad Max on there, you have to get him. So I made a little bit of a trade up there to get Mad Max. I didn't really have a pick until 15, but I made a move up there. And Sans, I'm sorry for stealing your pick 4 and 5. So
Well, it'll be all right. Congratulations to the Soars for going first overall.
yeah, you guys put in the chat there. Source number 1, but
So
yeah. Well, he's not liking them, but regardless, Diversion is on the clock, and they are selecting. They got 2 picks back to back here, so we got some interesting stuff at the top. We have Diversion with 2 picks in a row, Godfather with 2 picks in a row. So things are getting spicy,
God.
and the reigning MVP has gone off the board, followed by Zinvez with the second winner. So I mean, that's so Luca, the reigning MVP, and Zinvez are going off. What was that? 2 and 3 on the board.
That's going to be what, the third time they're going to be teaming together now?
yeah,
I think so.
But
I
honestly,
was really.
fans, you're in a good spot here. You got 4
I'm in
and
a
5,
great spot.
you have Arrow on your team already. That's kind of crazy.
The Godfathers might finally have a positive record.
Same.
But
Please.
Well, you need to get more than like 3 wins, I think, first, and then we can
That
talk
being
about
said,
positive record.
don't usurp the Grandmasters, but just make playoffs, please.
oh, we're definitely going to. So
Yeah.
picks 2 and 3. I really expected Ladog to go at 3. I'm surprised it's Zinvez.
Yeah, I thought Luca and Ladog is a classic combo.
I also expected that Ladog there instead of Zin, but I don't know. It might have been pretty tough to fit them on there. I think you would have to go like 1730 or like way down there if you had Luca and Ladog on the same team. So it could have been tough to make that happen. But Sans, you got back to back picks here, and you made your selection here. You go in. Why don't you tell us who you're going with for your back to back picks here?
I'm going with Dylan and Trash. So Trash I've known for a while. Dylan, I know he's a Nemesis like long timer, but I don't know him very well. Trash, he's probably the best third you're gonna find. 2 players that are this expensive. So I think Godfather's in a great spot, and we're looking to finally win some games.
This could be the season. Hey, I was looking at some of these other drafts too, and there were like a lot of teams that I was like, they're historically bad, but I was like, dang, this season they could actually be really good. Like, well, not to toot my own horn, but Genesis, I was surprised at how things fell, and I was like, well, maybe Genesis can do something. Now Godfathers, they look like a team there that, ooh, they could definitely win some games this season. I don't think I project them going 2-16 or anything this time around, but.
Right.
Hopefully
So last season, Godfathers actually had 20 different roster changes.
My.
I think that is great. This season, we shouldn't have any.
Is that great? Is that great? I mean, I guess.
You got to
Great is
spread
one.
the love.
Great, great is one way to put it. Oh, that's true. He's just making sure everyone got a chance to play. It was his, yeah, the charity org there. He's letting everyone play. Respect. But yeah, I mean that could be a good roster here for sure. And then Diversion. I mean, Diversion's a team that I mean you don't see Diversion like. I mean, Diversion. There were a couple times. I think they were in the running for Western Conference champs a while ago, a couple seasons ago. But we don't really see Diversion as like a powerhouse team. But now look at them, Luca and Zinvez on the team, and if Luca can stay unbanned from the server, they could have a good roster here going in for Diversion this season. I mean, could be scary with the reigning MVP and Zenviz on the team.
Yeah, already that's a powerhouse duo to have on your roster, whoever you get as third. We were talking about it before also. I mean, getting that good first round pick is so important in Titan. You really want someone who is even more so than exceptional. You want one of the best players on your team so that the rest of your roster can kind of be molded around them. And that's a strong start already. Diversion looking hot. Godfathers, once again, looking like they might win at least 3 games this season. That's what you like to see. And Pinnacle as well with the Mad Max pick. I mean, Mad Max is someone who's very easy to build a team around.
For sure,
Why are
for
the
sure.
names so huge
Where?
on the draft? On the stream? Have the names always been that big?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
They're just short
Maybe it's
names.
just because I missed. Maybe it's just because I missed half the draft.
That could do it.
You should have seen YSL's name on there.
it was moving. It was
that is of the royalty that we assume YSL is, though. He deserves to have his name that big.
okay. All right. So there we go. This is actually interesting. So we got the 3-time defending champions, 3 championships in a row in Blizzard. They traded for Mitch here, kept Toxic, kept Larry, and now they have selected Coffee with their first pick from the Kraken. So Coffee, that the participant with Mitch on the Krakens in that 18-0 season. It didn't end up in the chip, but that's what they went with. So Coffee going to Blizzard, and I mean that's interesting to see the Coffee Mitch combo. I have to wonder here, Coffee or Larry, who do you think's going to end up being the starter? I mean, I don't know. Any thoughts you guys you think might be the starter there? As Dank is also selected off the board to Inferno.
I think that's got to be Coffee.
It's definitely Coffee. No offense to Larry there, but I do think Larry has a little bit more to prove if he wants to be a starter in Titan, even though he's basically at 1800 MMR. I mean, Titan League regular season is one thing. It's hard to be successful in the regular season, but I mean, once you get to playoffs, it's a completely different story. And if you want to cement yourself on a starting roster spot on a good team, you got to have a little bit more seasoned practice. So maybe if Larry can kind of prove himself, maybe a few opportunities in the sub role come up this season. Maybe somebody on Blizzard can't make it here or there. But definitely, as far as season 9 is concerned, I'd definitely have Larry on a starter spot. But Coffee is definitely the third, and Dank is a good person to start off there for Inferno.
Yep, I think Dank's a good person to build around. Smooth is his technically second season as GM, but his first full run through. So I'm really curious to see what he does.
That's true. I mean, Smooth did a good job filling in as that interim GM. So he's we got to see if he can bring it back. I mean, he got Ignite all the way to the championship there. A couple other solid teams. So we'll have to see. What happens there. He has Dank going to Inferno and IDFI heading to the Bananas, which puts the Vanguard on the clock. And something some people are bringing up in chat is there are 2,100 players listed as 2K on here because of the cap there. Anyone above 2K gets listed at 2K. But Ga and Vela, 2115 for Ga, 2108 for Vela, still sitting at the top of the board here, which is surprising.
One of them could go to Krakens because Krakens has the bare minimum with Revi at 1720. So if anybody was going to pick up one of those 2Ks, it'd probably be them.
Yeah, my guess is going to be Krakens, Nebula, and Gravity.
Reapers is empty as well.
Ooh.
if they can get to it.
Hmm.
They are. Do they have a pick though? Do they have a knight situation on their hands?
There's 16 right now.
All right, well.
They had a I think they did a Blizzard pick swap, and it did not work out for them as Blizzard won it all, and yeah, Blizzard ended up getting a decent pick up there in the lottery. So
Yeah, Blizzard already the first roster actually fully filled out with that Mitch Talks Coffee Larry combo, and the rest kind of playing catch up. It is surprising. It feels like with these players, even in chat, people saying I don't know how Go is drafted yet. I'm very curious to see who will finally draft him as Vanguard. Will go for Deluxe here actually.
love Deluxe. Deluxe is a great guy. Was a great player on Pinnacle for a couple seasons in a row. Wanted to head to the draft this season, but I will vouch for Deluxe. Season 5 MVP. Good to see him go into a good place over there on Vanguard. So hopefully Deluxe. Hopefully they have a good season, solid season over there on Vanguard with looks like they got Zera and Tomer. So honestly, that could be a solid team. Deluxe, Zera, and Tomer over on Vanguard. So we'll have to see what happens there. That one.
That is a good duo to have at the top with Deluxe and Zare. And Tomer kind of along what I was talking about with Larry, except that Tomer last season actually kind of proved himself.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting much from Tomer, especially at his MMR value, but he subbed in a lot for Vanguard down the line there. And he actually played in the playoff game in the quarterfinals, and they almost reverse swept. What was it? The Krakens. And Tomer was just playing absolutely outstanding for his MMR value. So, I mean, Tomer still would like to see him a little bit lower in MMR value, but, I think they could definitely work it out there on Vanguard.
Yeah, and a couple more picks coming in through here. We got Bubs heading to the Grand Masters. There was a lot of talk about that in the Discord about Bubs wanting to go to the Grand Masters. So they have replaced Bagels with Bubs. Bagels, unfortunately, getting replaced there. He's getting a job as a sandbagger now. But,
Hey, dude, if my job is a sandbagger, then it pays real well.
Yeah. Respect. You've been negotiating. That was going on here. He's getting some salary negotiations in the middle of the draft. So congrats to you. But
I had to take care of business.
respect. Gotta get the bag. I respect that. But Bob's going to
gotta get the sandbag.
A sandbag. Exactly. Thank you. Good. All right, and then Guh is going to Nebula there. So the 2100 off the board to Nebula to kind of they just have a knack for getting these high 2K players. I mean, you remember Duckworth, and now Guh taking over there. So we will see what happens, what they can fit around Guh this season.
Sands was right. Nebula was
right.
one of the teams he said, which I actually kind of didn't agree with Sands, since Ventus is a little bit high up at 1850, but they do in fact do it. And I mean, anybody paired with Ventus that could be a pretty deadly combo as well, because Ventus, when he's peaking, he can definitely be a very capable player as well. And as far as to one of the other picks with Bubs, yes, I can no longer play, so I'm non-playing. They replaced one B name with another, and Bubs is a really solid player. I'm just kind of worried more about the chemistry on the team, because I know Bubbly and Goff are very comfortable with me, and we had a very specific play style. So I'll have to see how Bubs kind of works into that. Definitely a much more mechanical player than me, which is what the Grandmasters need. Grandmasters need some flash, and they do get it in Bubs.
Respect.
I think that'll definitely be an interesting combination. Just knowing Bubbly and Goff, they're not really full try-hard players, whereas Bubs kind of is. So we'll see how that goes if things don't really go their way.
Yeah, I think those comms might be a little bit tough. They're gonna have to come up with some nicknames in terms of calling out
Bubs.
Bubs.
Bubs and Bubbly. Hey, Bub, why don't you go? Both go. Double commits galore from them. That's true. That is very true.
Ladog still hasn't gotten picked yet, as we got 2 more picks in.
Yeah, we got Coop 1993 going to the Spartans there. So basically a 2K off the board. So Vella's still sitting there, actually. And then Shylin, who impressed last season, at least a little bit. They were around last season and heading to Venganza. So now that's, what is that? Shylin and Skittles on the roster for Venganza. So Titan's starting to look interesting out here, and that'll put the Krakens on the board as they try to get another repeat perfect season. Maybe get a championship this time. We will see. But I mean, impressive start. I mean, you don't see a team's first season go that well. You don't see a season go that well at all, really. 18-0.
Oh,
So,
Insanity.
oh really? Insanity
Kraken
off the
select
board.
insanity.
That is interesting. So not going for Vela. But I mean, Insanity. I mean, I could talk about Insanity because he was on Pinnacle last season. A great player. I mean, him and Deluxe were a dynamic duo last season for sure. And Edwin filled in great as well. Gabe as well, who's on the draft board. Both those guys are on the draft board. Filled in well. But yeah, it's Insanity. A great guy, great player. We'll see how he does in the Krakens. I guess they're going to build around him here. So we'll see what Rogue and them have in mind.
that will give them still quite a bit of space to work with. It looks like they're going for more of like a mid-range team MMR wise than picking up, because I don't think they'd really have enough to pick up a 2K now.
Probably not. No.
So they actually do. They just have to have a third that's pretty low. But they could be going after Insanity because he's more well known, and there's only like 2 teams left that could take either Vela or Larry. So that still could be their move.
Yeah, I mean,
That could be true.
Those two are great players as well. Vela, I mean, Larry was on Gravity last season, solid 2K player there, and Vela, I mean, 2100. You get a pass up on a 2100 if you're an empty team like this? I don't know. I would not personally do. I mean, I guess I did for Mad Max, but that's because Mad Max. But
Mad Max.
I mean, that's Mad Max. I mean, what can I say? As I also have a pick coming in here, I'm going with Denzi on this one. I was on Nebula. Apparently, he's a player for nobody. He's looking for a girlfriend, so women get at him. It's about me. But I'm drafting the Pinnacle.
You won't find many here.
No, you will not find many here. I don't know if you'll find any here, but he's getting selected there. Mad Max told me he wanted to play with him, and I was like, all right, you've got another person on our radar as well, who hopefully will fall to us. So you wanted to go with Denzi. Denzi's a very solid player in Nebula last season, and hoping with Mad Max and Denzi, Denzi's 1883 this season. I think, I'm gonna trust him, and we'll trust in Mad Max. So that's what we're gonna do. And as I say that as well, there goes Bella off the board. The Reapers could not pass up on that opportunity either. So respect
Hard
as
to
that
blame
closes out round 1 with a 2100 player going 16 on the board.
I mean, when you got literally nobody on your team and a lot of the big picks have kind of fallen already, why not? That being said, 2 names that have not gone off the board yet that I'm very surprised. I said one earlier in Ladog, but Heck is not been drafted yet. And, I don't know if I'm ruining anybody's picks, hoping Heck might fall later on in the draft or whatever, but Heck is easily a top 5 player in the league for me, if not top 3. So we'll have to see where, in fact, Heck does go.
Yeah, there are a lot of people on this board, and I guess that's the one thing. Some of these higher MMR players, it may be tough to get them on there. As we can take one more look at the first round, a lot of names on the board that we recognize. First round going quick yet again, and great players all around. As we're going to head into round number 2, starting with Phoenix. But yeah, I mean, Larry, the 2K at the top there. And then, Heck, Ladog, Temp's up there as well. I mean, Moifin, Caden is around. A lot of players that we recognize out here, and obviously there's some way down the list, but a lot of Titan players this season actually, which is a little bit different than maybe some other seasons. We don't really have a huge overflowing Titan, but this season there's a lot of people in Titan, and it's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna compete for these roster spots as the draft goes on for sure.
Caden at 1887 is actually really good value.
Does he still play that much though?
He stopped, and then he's kind of been on the grind as of recently. But I mean, Caden, he's kind of like Biscuit, where he's just always has a knack for getting players around him that work really well. There's definitely some mauled factor. I won't lie. There's definitely a mauled factor with Caden, but I can't deny that the man does have really good skill at the game, and his team always ends up making playoffs, and definitely is always scary on stream as well. So if they can overcome any mauled factor that may present itself, I mean, Caden is a really good player you would want on your team.
I did have Caden on my team way back in the day. Got me to a grand finals appearance. So close. One game away from winning the grand finals. That actually happened to two of my teams so far. Game 7 losses there for two of them. But Caden, good player. Very solid. He's still on the board. As the next couple picks are in. And we got some throwback names. We saw Dylan. We still had Goff from way back. The Goff, your Dylan combo. They've all been drafted as yours going to Phoenix. So congratulations to your. And then also Temp has been selected as Gravity. They have back-to-back picks here in this one, and looking to make some moves here. We're gonna see who they're gonna select for the next one. But you got Temp and Scion on that roster. I think Sans, did you have Scion on your roster at one point this last season? I know you had a lot of people going through.
Scion, yes, he was on Godfathers.
Okay.
And then Temp and Scion actually played together on Sloth Elite back in TSL, so they have some chemistry there.
Okay.
And on the Reapers as well. Back when I was on the team.
Was Temp on the Reapers as well back then?
Yeah. He was. It was me.
Oh, Sally Temp. Sally Temp. Because he's Sally Temp.
Yeah.
I do remember that now.
Yeah. Again, Temp, a very good player as well, but interesting. We'll have to wait and see who Gravity gets on the back-to-back pick here. But again, as they get Isaac, again, not two players I would think to pair together with Isaac and Temp, but maybe they know something I don't.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that Heck would be a good pick for this roster, filling out the MMR requirements, getting someone a little bit higher. I don't know much about Isaac. Maybe that's a player that they have previous communication with. But two back-to-back picks, skewing a little bit downwards. They still have 1797 to work with, but not too many options down there other than, I'd say, mostly sub at that point.
I think Bagels is going to love this next pick.
So, well, the Dragons are here, and they're selecting Vulcan with their pick on the board. Bagels has nothing to say. No reaction. No reaction to be had. He's just dead stare. Sorry, Sans, your reaction you wanted was not there.
Wait,
all
what?
1700 roster right now?
What in the world?
Wait, let's take a look at Dragons. What do they got right now? They have Burr. What? They've got Burr at 1751, May with 1734.
Burr is like a high 1800, low 1900 in reality. He just hasn't been playing.
Look at that cap room remaining right there.
That's crazy.
2181 remaining.
Yeah.
You do not see that in Titan League. What is going on over there? Who's letting C-Money make these draft selections from the
C-Money?
C-Money, what are you doing? Burr is definitely very good. I'm just concerned if Burr can actually make it to a game because he didn't make like half the games last season. So if Burr can show up, he can do some good things. That being said, I'm definitely questioning the all 1700 roster comp right now.
Oh, wow.
C-Money, you might be the fastest drafter ever, but how high that ceiling of skill is may be called into question.
I don't know if drafting fast equates to good. I don't know. But we'll see. Oh, we're getting word that they were gonna have fun this season. So
is that allowed?
That's not allowed. You're not allowed to have fun here.
Losing is not fun though.
All 27 of my players had lots of fun last season.
It can be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure of it here. As next pick is in for Diversion, who we were talking about what is going to go on with Diversion here with their picks. As we kind of, we saw Diversion with 2 empty roster spots to start. They went Luca and Zinvez, and now they're selecting Jesper on this one. He's an RL player for Skyline GG, according to his banner there, whatever that is. So he's getting selected. So congratulations. I think, where does that put him there? I don't see his MMR at the moment, but
it was like 1820 or something.
1825, yeah.
So starter material here is what we're going for, huh?
Yeah.
So Luca, Zin, and Jesper?
I'm very interested to see who this pick is for Reapers, because this is a pretty important pick, I think.
This is a guy that's been around for a while in Nemesis. Almost Magic Mike off the board there.
Okay.
Cool guy, been around for a while. Like the name, Almost Magic Mike. I mean, you recognize the name, and there he goes, going to the Reapers this time. And that's, I mean, Bagels Vela and Almost Magic Mike. That is something there for your former Reapers.
Yeah. Oh, Mike really got up there in MMR this season because before he was in the high 1700, and honestly, I think he played a lot better than a high 1700. So I guess that's why he's up at 1885 now. I really think Mike is the only reason that Vanguard made playoffs because I think Arrow and Zera were a little bit too inconsistent for me. So Mike is definitely somebody you want on your roster. He's a good rotational player. So I don't know anything about Vela, but again, if you make 2100, you got to be pretty dang good at the game.
A little bit,
So
a
I'd
little
say
bit,
that's
a little bit good.
a really good combination right there.
Yeah, that will be. I like Magic Mike. He was great on Vanguard last season, and we'll see what he's got for the Reapers here. As the next pick is coming in, Inferno has selected Wavy, and not the Wavy we all know, but the new Wavy here. No H in their name. The new wave, new wave of players here, including this Wavy guy. Going to Inferno, so that gives them Dank and a Wavy there, which is interesting. Interesting combination for that team there, Sans. I don't know if you have anything to say. As Vela in chat says he's about to take over this league. So the eye emoji, respect. Hey, I love to see it. I'd love to see it out here. Got to take down Blizzard somehow.
Please.
Please. He's begging.
I don't think. That being said, I don't think Blizzard's winning the chip this season. Sorry, Mitch.
Ooh.
As I think somebody messed up the sheet. There's now a line going through Blizzard. I don't know if that's like foreshadowing that they're going to get cut in half right before the finish line or something. But
you're looking at a different sheet than I am. I'm looking at the tight league draft sheet.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is that there's a line directly through the middle.
Are you on the team sheet?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on the public player sheet.
Oh, okay. Well, they have
a line has been cast.
Oh, someone. Oh, it's probably.
Oh, they've done it. Somebody's finally got Ladog, the bananas.
Ladog is off the board there. And you have to think Larry is probably going to the Dragons, maybe, or heck, I don't know. They got all their room, but Ladog. Yeah, we figured Ladog would go at some point. Former 2K Ladog off the board and going to the Bananas with Cool Kyle in their org.
The Spartans have a decent amount of room as well. I don't know if Foam would want to team with Heck, though.
That would be a team.
If Foam wanted to team with Heck, he would have drafted him first before Coop. But that's
you never know. Maybe he's planning on it. Hey, sometimes people just fall to you. You weren't going to get him in the first round, but hey, if they follow you in the second round, you got to take them,
Contingency plans.
Exactly. You got to have the backup plans. So, but with that being said, Ladog going there, and then Vanguard on the clock. They're going to go ahead and select T-Man off this one. So Vanguard, I believe, rounding out their roster with T-Man there. So I think, Sans, are those guys in your division this season?
Yes.
Vanguard? Well, I guess every season. What do you think? What do you think of Vanguard as division rivals now that they've rounded things out with T-Man?
So that's not former Titan T-Man. That's actually former rival T-Man, T-Man 2.
T-Man 2.
T-Man 2. I hate this.
The T-Man 2, Electric Boogaloo.
The 2 Melks, 2 T-Mans, the 18 million different guys.
Which Bang, which Ethan. It's lots of fun.
Of course.
So I think Godfathers are looking pretty good in this division. That's all I want to say.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be more competitive than last season because, as we've all been alluding to, Godfathers were a non-factor last season, and really Grandmasters, Venganza, and Vanguard all made playoffs. So 3 of the 8 teams coming from that one division. So depending on who Venganza gets, I think it could be a 4-stack in the division because Skittles was the sub last season for Venganza. Now he's up all the way at 19-19, and Shillin is definitely no slouch either. So we'll have to see how they round it out, as Reapers are now going to select Woke.
Woke in all caps. He's really letting us know there. Woke.
Okay.
So someone don't really recognize, not sure, but the Reapers are going with them. So Vela, Almost Magic Mike, and a Woke on the board with that 2K roster. So, excuse me, Vela. Hopefully woke is what you're looking for. There is 1805. That gives him 1728 remaining. So, room to pop one of those subs. There are a lot of subs near that lower boundary, which I know is maybe enticing some of these teams to go get those high 2K players and build around it. When you have those low players, you can fit on a fourth. It leaves you a lot of options there. So they're going to get woke and leave themselves a little bit of room to get a sub on there.
Yeah, I think. I mean, once again, the only player I've actually seen on this roster is Magic Mike. I remember him being solid for his MMR at the time, and he has boosted since then to a higher. Well, not gone boosted, but he's jumped up in MMR.
He's boosted.
But as a 2100 player, it's really gonna be on Magic Mike and Woke to play around him, especially since Vela. Sometimes with the high MMR players, I feel like there's the chance where they just kind of signed up on a whim and they don't really care about the league too much. But Vela seems like they have ambitions to rise up in this league, and if they can have the support of Magic Mike and Woke, then I could see that happening. I could see them doing some real damage.
Yeah, and something I will say about these IRMR players, I feel like this season we got a lot of like those high 1950 plus players that are really, really good this season. I feel like there's almost one on like every roster. If you look at all these rosters, there's someone like that is a really good high 1900 2K plus player this season. I know maybe Bagels you can attest, but it seems like we're finding more and more of those players to get on rosters in Nemesis.
Yeah, the more we grow, the more people are gonna want to come join this draft league here, and definitely again, in Titan League, you just want to see things as competitive as possible. Which now that the division has been made on Blizzard, I think it's kind of going to be up for grabs here for the championship. And again, like I said, just looking at the Mountain Division, all 4 teams in there look like they could be very competitive as well. And we'll have to wait and see how the rest of the rosters get rounded out. But yeah, there's a lot of good 1900s at the moment. I think the most important value to get is kind of between that 1800 to 1850 range, which is where I feel like there's a lot less players in that range.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you can maybe steal a pick in that range, or even get somebody that's like at 1770 that's really punching above their weight, and I think that's kind of where you can like make or break the draft for me.
That's fair. That's fair right there. Is we got 3 picks coming in back to back to back. So we talked a little bit about Woke, but Nebula is coming in selected Twan. I used to call him T1, but apparently it's Twan. And then
not T1.
Hey, it could have been T1. It could have been T1.
It's definitely
Twan. It just sounds like I don't know. It sounds like you're flicking something like a Twan. I don't know. Twan. I don't know. But you get Twan there. Go to Nebula. You get Devin. I don't recognize this Devin. What does that put him on Spartans? Going to the foam.
1821.
Oh,
okay. So yeah, not
So
to
foam opting not to play with Heck.
yeah, interesting. So Devin, 1921 to go in there, and now Venganza picking up Dez here, who's looking for a team for CRL. So someone sign the man. I think you have to be in a college for that. So hopefully, you could be looking for a team for CRL. I don't know if you could do that, but if you can, respect. He's trying to get known, understandable. But he's going to Venganza there. So it's gonna be a third on their roster. So pretty much the rosters here as we're rounding out round 2, we're looking like pretty much 3 people on almost every roster. So a lot of starting rosters have been, gathered and acquired here. Now that we're kind of finishing things up in round 2.
Yeah, I think the next pick is actually going to be really interesting for me as well, as these picks are getting rounded out as Krakens. I'm going to see who they're going to pair with Insanity, which looks like we're about to see in a half a second here.
It's luxury.
That is not who I thought they were going to pick at all.
Who did you think they were going to pick there? As they go with luxury.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Just not luxury. Not that I like luxury. I like playing with him. I think I've only played with him a few times in ranked or something, but definitely not who I was thinking they were going to pick up.
Well, luxury has been around in Nemesis. So has Insanity. So I don't know. I know Critter's doing the drafting. No hate on Critter, but going for some known names here for sure. I mean, it sometimes doesn't hurt to go for the known quantities there. And maybe this is part of their plan there. So luxury and Insanity. Maybe they have some chemistry together as let's go with Pinnacle on the clock. And thankfully for us, I thought this was going to be a smooth draft for Pinnacle. I feel like these people were under the radar, and I'm happy because they did
They
fly
are.
under the radar. And I'm going to go ahead and select Anti here, who formerly was on Diversion. Um, I've recognized the name from a while back. I believe that's the same Anti. But again, Mad Max wanted Denzi and Anti, said that, at least, of the choices that we had. So I'm gonna go with Anti, and I'm expecting big things here from my boys. I mean, Pinnacle, gotta get when I saw Mad Max as an opportunity, the number one pick kind of fell into my lap in a trade offer. I was like, I gotta take it. And this is what we're going with: Mad Max, Denzi, and Anti. So Denzi and Anti got a bit to prove, I think, in Nemesis. But I think if Mad Max trusts in them, I can definitely trust in them as well. So see what happens.
So something interesting I've just noticed. If you do the math, there's only one team that can fit either Larry or Heck, and that's
Mm.
Dragons. So that means at least one of them is going undrafted.
Oof.
Oh.
I don't think Dragons are drafting either of them. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the way it's gone, I think the Dragons might be picking up Crip here.
Let's not get crazy.
That's a bold pick right there.
Well, I'm just following the trend of the low 17, or I guess that's mid 1700s, but
Yo, somebody needs to pick up Fishy though. I thought Rockerman
Mm.
was gonna do it, but he went with Anti instead. But Fishy is definitely, like I was saying earlier, one of those players that's at 1770 that realistically he can play up to like a high 1800. So I'm surprised nobody's picked up my boy Fishy.
Sure. You think Fishy and Edwin both, they're right there in the middle at the 1772, 1771. I mean, people in Nemesis for a while. I mean, Zap's up there as well, who played great in Rivalry last season. There's a couple of guys you could see around the mid to high 1700 range that could be making their way on our roster potentially. You would have to think, but
I'd be
I don't know.
surprised if they don't end up getting drafted one way or another.
I feel
There's
like-
still plenty of fourth spots left on teams, and even one 3 spot left.
I know the ideal roster for Grandmasters. I know Bubs did get drafted, but the ideal roster was Heck and Fishy if they could have fit it. But those numbers definitely didn't work out. Or if for whatever reason I came back playing, it was going to be Heck playing and me as sub because that was our United Rogue team. As now, yes, one of my favorite names in Titan League has been redrafted. We got 10 Piece Nugget, baby. We got another food name. And 10 Piece
Oh,
Nugget, he showed up on stream last season. He was putting up some numbers.
I think that's who that is. Their name
I'm
was
having-
Nuggy on the sheets, but I think it's 10-piece Nugget there. So I
I'm
tagged
having
him.
flashbacks. Was that the guy we were? I don't want to say harassed, but
We were in
we
Farragut
got an
about the
answer
Wendy's.
about Wendy's
Yeah.
or McDonald's.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's gonna round out round 2 here. Sans, I want to throw it to you again here. What do you make of round 2? I mean, there's quite a few teams that actually had 2 selections in this round. Inferno, Reapers, Gravity, all had 2 selections in this round. A lot of interesting names off the board here. Any surprises?
I'm more surprised at the players that are left, honestly. There's not a lot of room left for some pretty big names. I think T-Man was a surprise. And yeah, I'm just really curious to see how this season goes with things looking the way they are.
It will be interesting. I will agree with that. As let's move on to round 3. We're getting down to it. There's actually round 3. It's pretty full. We're only missing 4 picks in this round of full rosters, and then in round 4, there's only 2 picks in round 4. So pretty much round 3, and then two more left to go here. As Sans is being harassed by his daughter in his ear. Nice. You love to see it making the cast debut, and that's what happens. That's what happens when you have kids, I guess. But there we go. One of the names, Bagels, that I was referencing is off the board. Another former Pinnacle player is gone. It is Edwin going to Inferno. And does that quite round out their roster now? It does. They got Dank, Wavy, Nuggy, and Edwin. That is a very interesting combination of players to put together.
That is. I mean, I don't know anything about this wavy, but if he even has half the talent as the other wavy, which I hope he does at 1882, I mean, with 10-piece Nugget paired with Dank, I mean, that could be kind of a dark horse candidate for maybe the 7th, 8th seed, maybe even into the 9th, 10th seed spot, because I'm just remembering that the play-in tournament is a thing again in Titan. Because realistically, I think that Atlantic division is kind of up for grabs. I think Blizzard is still the favorite to win that one, but I don't think it's as secure as they think it might be, because a lot of those other rosters are kind of not as strong as I thought they might be.
Also, I'm getting a word of a possible breaking trade if this thing goes through. Bananas receiving Insanity, Kraken's receiving Ladog and a Season 9 second.
Oh.
So things could be moving around there a little bit. We'll see if it actually gets approved by both teams, but at least was thrown in there as a possibility. So could be some shakeups there for the Krakens and the Bananas. So spicy there as the Godfather is making another selection. And Sands, you guys are selecting Boy Wonder on this one.
Yo.
What do you want to give us some thoughts? And hopefully your daughter's not yelling in your ear anymore.
She is, but it's okay.
He'll survive.
So as soon as Insanity came off the board, I got a DM from Upset Bananas. So I knew this was coming. But they've been playing together for a while, and apparently it's going pretty well.
What do you think about your pick to get Boy Wonder? What was your thought process there in getting him?
Boy Wonder, he already subs for a sloth team outside of Nemesis, so it's just a no-brainer. Super sub Boy Wonder.
Super sub. There you go. He's making his move over there to the Sloths, and the Godfather's there with that roster. So Sans roster rounded out with Arrow, Dylan, Eye Trash, and Boy Wonder. So that'll be interesting to see. As the Dragons are on the clock, and now this is the spicy pick we've been waiting for.
So,
Oh boy.
I don't think anyone is ready for what's about to happen.
You have an idea.
Please brace yourselves. No, it's going to be Rocker Man's favorite former teammate, actually.
Oh gosh.
No way.
Oh, is it Krippus?
No
I
way.
did not play with Krippus.
Even better.
Oh wait, that was merely that played with.
We will see. Or
I'm not going to spoil it, but this is actually a starter. Burr's going to be the sub for this roster.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I hope they have fun losing.
Incoming Dragons 0-18. I'm calling.
This looks like so we'll have to crack some skulls over here.
Very curious.
See, Bubbly Bagels and Goth was the meme team that actually had a chance at winning.
Yeah, this is just troll.
Just a meme team.
I think this team's gonna go 3-15.
No shot, dude.
Oh my goodness. Well, this has happened, and I think it's a little bit disrespectful, if you ask me, with the way what they're doing.
God.
But they have went and selected Green Glow on their roster. I think it's a little bit disrespectful what they've done here in the Titan League, to be completely honest with you.
It's a rival team.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's all I'll say is that I think it's a little bit disrespectful. But hey, to each their own, I guess. They can draft their team.
Someone needs to make sure C-Money's not driving anywhere tonight.
That's true. That is very true. As they have done that. 450 capper remaining.
Is that a record?
Absolutely.
Well, there have been some teams that
there's no way it's not.
I think in some previous seasons there was a lot of overflow cap room before we had more things refined. I think in novice there was close to that much, if not more. But regardless, let's carry on. As Diversion has gone and selected Joe, as in Joe Mama.
Another just classic name.
Yo.
I love the casual first names.
There was Michael earlier, and now we just got Joe.
Yeah, there's also
Joe and Luca on the same team.
Joe and Luca.
Where they should have got Josh. What are they doing?
There's a Christian on there.
Larry, Luca, Joe, Josh.
Technically, Gabe is he's just missing
Gabe.
the A.
True. throw the A in there, and then you got him. So, well, interesting. Interesting move. What does that put him at? What does that put Diversion at now? As we're kind of is
Two
that their that's
capital
almost
left.
what's that roster looking like in Beer
Quite a bit of a difference. It looks pretty good. Lucan's in once again. We've talked about him a lot. Won't harp on it too much, but it could definitely pop off. Jesper, I haven't really seen play yet, but if he can just vibe with Luca and Zin, I mean, they definitely have a chance to be contenders. Championship winning with Luca on the roster, you can never quite count them out. But yeah, they're looking solid right now.
It looks like a pretty free division, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
What is that? We got Dragons tanking. You get Spartans who have got some relatively unknowns with foam. Coop and Devon. I think Coop was around last season, but Devon knew. And then Gravity, Temp, Isaac, and Scion. So who knows what they can bring? But yeah, you might be right. Diversion could be back and be the top of something over there in the West.
Diversion's never made playoffs, so they were real close one season. They were one game away, and I think they lost by like 1 goal or something. As I had a feeling this pick was going to come out.
I'm sad. I'm so sad.
I didn't think about this until now, looking at the list, but this is who I thought they were going to pick. And Gabe is going to go to the Grandmaster.
I was hoping he was going to fall back to me. The man didn't resign, but
two B's and 2 G's.
He did me like that. As Paper, we didn't talk about Paper, but Paper's going to the Reapers there to round things out with Vela, Almost Magic Mike, Woke, and then Grandmasters getting Gabe, who wanted to resign with Pinnacle, didn't react, and now he has fallen to the Grandmasters. So I'm gonna have to do some thinking about my sub. I was just hoping, I was praying he was gonna come back, but respect Gabe and Goff, both ISU boys, I think. So got some chemistry there. Good guy, Gabe. Love Gabe. Filled in very nicely for Pinnacle last season. We pretty much Gabe and Edwin were swapping off for a lot of the time. So Gabe, he's a quality Titan player, even at 1732. So I respect the heck out of that pick. Oh, and opposite, I sniped him from him last season. Well,
and speaking of
heck.
Speaking of heck, surprising to see him still up there on the board. I mean, I really thought he was going to get drafted earlier. He has to make his way into the season somehow, even if he somehow doesn't get drafted, right? Like, there's no way
I think
you pass up on that.
Something's going to happen with that Kraken's roster, because Rockerman already said the trade's going to come out and Ladog's going to go to Kraken's. Maybe if Ladog and Heck get on a team together, I mean, that could be pretty dangerous, actually. They would have to drop luxury to do so, I think, because I think it would be too much MMR. But I don't know. I mean, again, like we kind of say, things shift the day of the draft, the days after the draft, the first 2 weeks of the season. People are going to get dropped, so things are going to get all kinds of topsy-turvy. But yeah, Heck is top 3 player for me.
That's some bold statement. He's still sitting up there alongside Larry at 2K, which is very surprising. I mean, you don't see 2Ks sit at the top of the board too often. And Larry played last season, so I'm very surprised.
I think this has happened in previous seasons, because sometimes it's just such a commitment, to draft a 2K MMR player. If you don't have a solid plan with them, it can be difficult to try and force it, and probably not a good idea, to be honest. But yeah, still surprising that no one's tried to work around.
Yeah, we will see, as the Bananas have selected Kuko here for their pick, and I think that's going to run out their roster. So Ideify, Ladog, Bravo, and Kuko on the board for them. So 21 cap remaining. So they're working a little bit, and they got that pick in. So we'll see what the Bananas could do out there, as Nebula has come through and they have selected Zap on the board, a great player last season on Distortion. And now he's heading to Nebula, to the Space Jam org.
Former teammates Ventus and Zap way back in season 1, actually.
Oh my goodness.
I'm assuming that Zap is definitely going to be the sub, so probably not too much playing time between the two of them. But yeah, going back to that other pick with Kuko, if that trade with Bananas does go through and they do get Insanity, I don't know too much about Ideify, but Ideify is a decent 1900. You get Insanity on that roster with Bravo. That's I would definitely say that Bananas definitely be front runners along with Blizzard there.
What to see is the next couple of picks have come in. Spartans have gone and selected Crippist off the board there. So there they go. The man himself, the streamer who's been helping us out here. Shout out to Crippist.
Congratulations.
He is now a Spartan there, as looking like to be the sub, but he is gonna make it onto a roster there. So you got Coop, Devin, Foam, and Crippist on a team. That's a combo, Crippist and Foam. You know, obviously maybe not playing all the time, but a combination.
A deadly combination.
Think so? You like a deadly combination over there?
Oh yeah.
Respect.
I know
respect.
so. And honestly, Crip is pretty wholesome these days. It's mainly just foam.
Yeah.
I do love foam, but that man does have a way about him, I will say.
Foam moments. But yeah, we're down to it, guys. We've only got 5 picks remaining in this draft here. Still some great players on the board. We got Venganza, Gravity, Pinnacle, Phoenix, and Krakens yet to pick, and the Venganza pick is in. And another pick of mine has been sniped, as I was going to draft this guy. And his Crafty Damus goes off the board, and he's heading to Venganza as possibly the sub there. 1747 remaining. They select him down there at 1722, so going down just a little bit, and only 2 before my pick, so I'm a little sad now, but
Pick up Little Rob.
we just have to. I did actually recruit that guy into the league, so. But let's see what Gravity does.
48.
Let's see what Gravity does first.
I will say for the one good thing the Dragons could do with their power here, of the all 1700 team, if you're like a sub in the tie-in league at 1700 and you kind of just want to play to get more experience, just ask to get traded to the Dragons. I mean, they have all 1700s already. I don't know if all of them are fine with losing every game of the season, if that's what the consensus was on that roster.
Oh, they've done
But if you want a chance of playtime, then go ahead. Oh, they did it. Let's go.
Fishy's off the board to Gravity there. You had to think he was going to get off the board. I mean, you can't have a season without Fishy on the list there. So Fishy makes his way in there, and congrats to Fishy. I'll make it on a roster. So,
see, I actually don't know who would start between Scion and Fishy, because Scion is pretty decent, and he was the sub for the Reapers back when I was playing.
Scion lately, definitely Scion. He's been insane lately.
Fishy doesn't play the game, but I did play a tournament with him last week or even a week and a half ago, and he still got it. He can unwash himself very quickly, unlike myself.
Yeah, he's taking his time.
Fishy is still a very solid player, and depending on if that Gravity roster ends up staying together, if roster moves get made, Fishy could even be a starter.
That's fair. I mean, I could definitely see that as Pinnacle. We're making our final pick of the draft. I got to get this guy that I recruited, Little Betu. I was going to leave him in case some other team wanted him, because I wanted to get Gabe at first just because I can rely on Gabe. But I think I'm pretty sure I recruited this guy into the league way back when. So that'll give us 0 cap room remaining. We're making the most of it, as you should.
Perfection.
Yes. So there we go. That means I did a perfect draft, right? Because I have 0 cap room remaining.
Sure.
Sure. We'll go with that.
For the sake of keeping my AGM position. Yes.
Respect. Understandable. But there we go, guys. That's round number 3 on the board. I mean, looking at round 3, I think I've known every name on this list except maybe Joe. I mean, Kuko is a slight little bit of unknown, but look at that. Those are all relatively well-known Nemesis names. All going round number 3 on the board here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely some that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's true. That is very true. But that's going to round it out there for round 3. We've only got 2 more picks left in the draft in round 4. So we're heading to round 4, but this is it. 2 picks left. We've got Phoenix, and we got Krakens. So let's take a look. What is Phoenix going to do here with their picks? They got Xenix, who I believe stands out as a trade from your org, right?
Yes. Arrow came to me. He wanted to play. And I was like, I can't do that to Xenix. He's like the nicest guy I've ever met, which is really rare for the Titan League. So that was a condition, is if I got him traded somewhere where he could play.
Nice. Well, that is very nice of you to get him onto a roster. So Xenix, you're Miles, and now they're selecting G Games 14, who I believe was active, or at least a little bit active. I recognize the name for sure. So active there and going to get on the roster as the last player on the list. So
Also, can I just? There's some very wholesome people in Titan League. I don't know what you're talking about.
Some
Xenix
yes.
has
You got the
no
most
ego
wholesome
whatsoever,
roster, most wholesome roster ever on Grandmasters. Bagels, Bubbly, and Goff.
especially now that you're not on it.
Whoa! Wait,
yeah.
you're saying it's more wholesome with Bubs? That doesn't make any sense.
Actually, yeah. Please forgive me. You're right.
Oh, and the Krakens are coming in with the last pick of the draft, and oh boy, you might not have expected this one, but they're going ahead and selecting Caden off the board to the Krakens at the very end of all
The
things.
MMR value, that's the smartest thing they could have done.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, Caden 1887 there.
Will Caden show up and play? That's another story.
Yeah.
I think Caden and Insanity with Luxury is actually a really good trio, but the question is if Insanity wants to get traded to Bananas, that's going to kind of throw a wrench in things.
Yeah,
Ladog and Caden, how would that go?
Awful.
Well, looks like the trade has already been approved, although by a GM and an AGM, so it could be reversed. But it looks like Ladog and Insanity are gonna be swapping, so it's gonna be Ladog, Caden, and Luxury, if those MR values work out correctly.
They definitely do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
They might sign Heck, but I don't know. Looks like somebody's just gonna have to wait for some sort of roster move because I mean the fact that Heck is undrafted right now is pretty wild. I mean, maybe I don't think that many people know him besides like people that are kind of in that friend circle. But like I said, Heck is definitely a top 3 player in the league for me. I'd go like Max, Heck, and I don't really know who else. I'd probably throw Deluxe in there too. Like Deluxe Luca for like top 4, top 5.
Mad Max die?
I said Max.
Oh, okay.
What?
Sorry. I wasn't listening. To be completely honest with you, I just wanted to.
Wow.
I only heard the very end, so I just want to start some beef, real quick as we end things off. I was thinking about the next thing I had to say, which is I have to remind these draftees who didn't get drafted that just stay active. I've said it all the times, every draft, but again, just stay active. Like Bagel was saying, there's got to be some roster moves that are going to be made. I mean, there's trades happening, drops and ads going down already, so I'm sure there's going to be some moves being made, and there's still, I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen before the season starts? I mean, we've got a week. I'm sure by the time opening day comes around, there's going to be a lot of transactions made in all the leagues. So if you didn't get drafted, fear not. Just stay active. I'm sure there'll be a shot for you at some point throughout the season. So yeah, but let's go around. Let's go around one more time and get some final thoughts on Titan, and then maybe we can wrap up the drafts as a whole here as we head into season 8. Now rosters all filled out here. So merely, let's start with you. Let's talk about Titan first, and then we'll go back around one more time for the full league. So what do you think? What do you think about Titan now? We're done.
I think this would have to be the least expected. Well, not least expected, but probably the most chaotic Titan draft I've ever been a part of or gotten to witness. With some very exceptional decisions being made, for which we will not necessarily name. But the Dragons roster, question mark, big one. Other than that, I think there's a lot of solid teams. I think a lot of really good rosters put together here. Pinnacle runner-ups last season, now getting Mad Max on there, the guy they lost to. And if Mad Max builds a team, I'm going to trust that team has potential to do well. Looking at Vela, love to see the motivation of someone coming in at 2K with the skill to prove it, I'm sure. And even other than that, Diversion getting a chance at playoffs is going to be huge this season, as they might... I would expect them to crack that record that they've never broken for themselves previously. And even other than that, there are a few other teams that I think could be dark horses that could really make some surprising runs. Grandmasters there, I mean, Bagels... You guys made it pretty far last season. I think that what you guys were missing was just that mechanical ability last season. Not to say that you were a bad team. I think you had potential to win against almost every team in the league. But with Bubs on there now, as long as the synergy and comms works out with Bubs and there's no tilt factor, I think they could perform well. But overall, I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Bagels, resident player. What are you taking out of this? Out of these teams that now we see in Titan League?
As far as the Grandmasters are concerned, I do agree with Merely. Definitely a synergy and chemistry factor because Bubs has definitely got some of the best mechanics in the league. But yeah, I mean, going back to what I was saying earlier, the Mountain Division is definitely going to be the most competitive division out of any of these in the Western Conference there. So, but teams that I'm kind of looking at is basically anybody in that Mountain Division, Diversion, Pinnacle, and along with Blizzard and Bananas. I feel like those are kind of my teams to watch. I guess my another team to watch is the Dragons to see what their goal differential is like.
Yeah.
Um,
I think there's a lot of different teams that may have a shot here. This might be the most kind of who knows in Titan League. But Sans, what do you think now? I know you finally got your possibly great team here in the Godfathers. What do you think about the Titan League as a whole here?
I think this is going to be by far the most competitive season of Titan since I've been in the league. There's no like obvious winner, and the Titan League is just stacked. It's looking really good.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. Like I said at the beginning there are a lot of people. Like there's almost you can almost look at every one of these teams and be like, that is a star player on their team. Like that is a great player. Like if you look at just the Central Division, there's a 2K on every roster in the Central Division. There you have Mad Max, Vela, Xenix, and Ga. That is a battle right there in the Central Division for sure. And I mean, there's players all around the league as well that have just pop off potential. Some of them that obviously aren't 2K, but like you're like, wow, that is a really good player. And yeah, Titan's gonna be crazy here. So let's go around one more time. Maybe summarize the drafts as a whole. Maybe what we're expecting heading into season 8, which is our biggest season ever. We got 6 leagues going down. Merely again, I'll start with you here. What are you expecting now that we've concluded all these drafts? The rosters are set. We got just a little over a week until opening day. What are you thinking here?
Absolute chaos. What I enjoyed most about this draft, even before it happened, was I looked at the player sheets and I saw like there were so many empty teams on each in each division, in each league, I should say. And I think that's really healthy for the league because now we get to see how teams rebuild. Like we won't have just a repeat of the Blizzard team from last time. We're not going to have repeats of a lot of championship teams, and we're going to get to see how those GMs adapt and how the players adapt in the league to fight for those top spots once again. There's definitely a lot of competition in each of these seasons. I think the MMR boundaries as a whole have kind of reshaped how things are going to play out, and I think it's going to be very enjoyable to watch. I'm really just excited to get started with season 8 now.
Heck yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. Bagels, what are your big takeaways from all these drafts, and what are you expecting heading into our biggest season yet? It just keeps getting bigger. We're heading into 6 leagues, and yeah, lots to be determined. What are you thinking here?
like I always say at the end of every season, the following season just ends up getting better and better and more competitive, which every season that passes. So I'm expecting more of the same here. I'm also waiting for the next player that's going to be called against smurfing allegations in Provisional League, since that's the new league. I'm waiting for the guy that's going to get like a flip reset double tap and like carry the team, and then there's going to be a witch hunt for him. So I'm just waiting to see whoever that player is. But other than that, just looking to, like Merely said, get the season started underway. And I don't really know what my casting availability is going to be like with my new job, but I'm definitely going to be excited to cast a lot of these new players that might have a chance to get the name for themselves and be more of a household name in Nemesis, because we got a lot of new people this season.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of new people, and they're making on rosters. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be some new names to watch out for in all these leagues. 6 leagues now, so a lot of people there. Sans, any final thoughts here on the drafts as a whole heading into season 8?
So it's funny you bring that up. normally me and Biscuit sit in like together for the draft. But this time it was me, C Dubs, and Smeg all together. And they're like, "What do we do for Arrival?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna lie, I don't know any of these people. They're all new." And that's just great for the league. Um, we gained what over 100 new players that have never been here before.
Something like that. There's a lot. There's a lot of new people that have joined this season. We're at 418 right now. We ended the season last season at 500, and we're already at 418 before the season has even started. So, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy for sure. But yeah, for me, like Bagels said, it's just these teams just seem to they just keep getting more and more competitive. The leagues get more and more competitive. I mean, I'm looking at. I liked pretty much every one of my drafts that I had here. And I'm sure a lot of other GMs feel the same way. It's always that good feeling. The start of the season, you're like, wow, we really got the team we wanted. And then, well, down the line, then you'll get disappointed. But or you'll win. Or you'll win. But it's gonna be crazy. There's a lot of new faces. I'm excited. It's good to have everyone back that's returned from last season. It's good to have all the staff teams back. I gotta wrap up. Before we head off, I gotta thank a lot of people here because the drafts are not easy. There is a lot of people that put in the work. So first, I'm gonna shout out the mod team. There's a lot of different people that helped out here. I know Doodle, Lush, Mayo, Valence, Ruth were huge helps here. Let me make sure I don't miss anybody here off the team. The other managers have definitely helped as well. Critter, Rogue, Squirrel, Smeg, Speed is on there as well. Mitch. Hopefully I don't miss anyone. Gonna butcher it. Sands as well, helping out. Psycho, who also
Psycho.
casted. Psycho also casted. Making sure I got everyone. I was gonna thank you for the casters as well.
And
But
Jake.
yeah. And who?
Jake.
Jake. Yeah. Did Jake do something there?
He did a lot.
He said, "Whoever forget about Jake, respect Jake." But yeah, thanks to all the mods that helped doing stuff behind the scenes. Huge shout out to Crippist for streaming both these drafts today. Is a long drafts here, but he put in the work behind the scenes. To help out and make sure things are running smoothly. So shout out to Crippus for putting that work, and shout out to everyone else who casted. Psycho casted, Bagels. You were here for all of them, so appreciate you. Jaegers, who's not here tonight. I Rose Up, Penguin making their debuts. Shout out to those guys. And then Charles came back and helped, and obviously merely setting up all the commentators, doing his commentating thing back here as well. So appreciate everyone putting this stuff together. The drafts are never easy. There's a lot that goes into it, but now they're done. We got the season. We got the season to look forward to, which I know everyone's hyped about. It's finally back. We've been awaiting. We've been awaiting this off season. We kind of got a concrete schedule in, so it's about that time. Teams are going to get playing. Things are going to get going. So yeah, I think that's about it. So appreciate everyone. Make sure you guys follow the channel if you haven't already. We are going to be back. When are we going to be back? That is the next big question. Well, opening day is November 9th or November 7th, excuse me. November 7th. That is a Monday. So that's not this next Monday, but the Monday after is when opening day is, and then there may be a tournament or two before then. But for now, get some games in with your rosters, have some fun, and yeah, that's about it. Make sure you guys stay active in the Discord, follow the channel, and that's about all the spiel I got. Go buy some merch. Nemesis merch. The link is somewhere in the chat. I'm sure we can do exclamation point merch, and you can get some merch. There'll be some more merch coming to the store. Some merch. We love merch, so go buy some. But yeah, that's it. That's it, everyone. we got to sell it. You think that sold it, guys?
Just keep saying merch. It'll work.
Go get some merch. Yeah, there we go. We got exclamation point merch in the chat. You can go pick up your Nemesis merch at merch.nemesisleague.com. There you go. There you go. Never merch league. So there we go. That's like one of those things. You just repeat it enough times, it'll get in someone's head, and they'll be thinking about it.
Where is the disconnect button?
Well, it's somewhere. Well, that's it, everyone. I'll let everyone go now. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back for opening day, maybe sooner. Stay tuned, and have a good night, everyone. Talk to you later.
See ya.